Yes, yes. Yes, sir.
Bạn biết rồi. Tới. Ồ. Qua ăn mình cũng tác.
Hai anh lên trên ngồi luôn đi. Đây đây ưu tiên văn phòng ngồi sau lưng, còn các anh là người trực tiếp đặc điểm lên coi đi.
Đều đấy. Ok.
Cái máy này. Cái máy này.
Hai người nào? Ok. Can we off the light? Yeah, the light is better. What we go with clearer. Yes, okay.
Ok, giới thiệu mọi người đây là Tư Duy Tân Côn, kiểm ABS, giám đốc của khu vực. Chương trình là giới thiệu PSC các cái lỗi và phòng tránh. Okay, please.
Okay, good morning everybody. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Uttapol. I'm a PVTrans country manager. So just to tell you a little bit my background. I was a ship engineer before. I working on a ship for more than 2 years. I stopped sailing in 1995, very long time. And then I working as shipping company as technical manager for another 10 years. And then I working with ABS this year 20 years. So I have experience with marine industry more than 40 years. Okay, so I try to speak slowly, and then if you have any question, please feel free to stop me and ask me question. Okay. First, I will show you the video. Some of you may ever see this video before. This is the video for the process control. 2 process control inspection. One is inspect for the Tokyo MOU. Another one is the Paris MOU. Okay, so there are 2 ships. One is good ship, one is bad ship. You just watch the video and then get the concept, how the process control when they go up to the ship, what are they doing, how they inspection the ship. Okay, so from beginning pay attention what is the step of how the inspection of the ship, and then how to deal with the process control. That's the most important part. That how the captain, how many captains here, ship engineer?
There are two captains and 2 ship engineers.
Yes, and also very important for the crew side, crew manager, that how you train your crew before send them to the ship. Process control also is just normal people. How we deal with them, how we talk to them, how we convince them when they have issue on the ship, right? So, like I say, some of you may ever watch this movie before, so just pay attention a little bit.
And properly operated so as not to endanger the crew, risk the cargo, and damage the environment. Towards the end of the last century, a series of shipping incidents led to suspicions in Europe that poorly operated ships were escaping the net of the established regulatory bodies. Discussion began on inspecting ships in port under the SOLAS Convention. It was clear that to be effective, countries had to act together. So, in 1982 in Paris, 14 European countries signed a Memorandum of Understanding, an MOU, on board state control. The Paris MOU currently includes 27 countries. established in the Asia-Pacific region, South America, the Caribbean, the Mediterranean, the Indian Ocean, West Africa, the Black Sea, and the Arabian Gulf. Now there are 9 MOUs incorporating nearly 140 countries. The US Coast Guard also inspects ships under port state regulations. The objective of all these countries is to ensure that the ships in their waters are properly maintained and properly run. Although port state control was intended to benefit the port states, it has benefited both ships' crews and honest ship operators. As soon as a ship is scheduled to arrive, the Port State Authority examines its records for its recent MOU inspection history. If it has had problems in the past, or has not been inspected recently, it will go onto the selection list for inspection. Each MOU has its own method for selecting ships. Many look at the ship's history and also its type. If it is of a type and age considered a high risk, it will go on the selection list. If its flag state or recognized organization has had a poor record of detentions, the ship will go on the list. If a complaint has been received, either from a previous port, a crew member, or a pilot, that will also put the ship on the list. Once the ships have been selected, the Port State Control Officers, the PSCOs, are assigned. The ship is not informed. The PSCO always arrives without warning. The objective of Port State Control is to ensure that all the ships passing through the Port State's water are operated according to international standards. The basic inspection regime for all the MOUs is the IMO conventions. These include the load lines, SOLAS, MARPOL, STCW, COLREG, and tonnage convention. Some MOUs also examine compliance with relevant ILO conventions. Ships can check each MOU's website for their further requirements. Complications can arise because for all members of MOUs, their national legislation will take priority over the MOU agreements. In a few cases, the standard required may be more demanding. For example, in the Paris MOU, EU member states will inspect under Paris MOU, EU, and their own national regulations. Ship operators need to be aware that in all MOUs, national regulations will take precedence. For the ship, there is no secret to passing a port state inspection. It's about keeping the ship up to standard, doing everything properly, and keeping good records to demonstrate that.
When I approach a ship, then I look at the mooring lines, I look at the markings, I go marking, is the ship rusty, indents on the outside, pencil mark, gangway, that's what I can see on the outside. Before approaching the ship, I also check, of course, the documents at home.
Approach this ship, I noticed it's very well maintained from the paint of the hull, and I can see the type of the vessel is it has no crane and used in closed lifeboat.
MOUs have different levels of inspection. The initial inspection usually takes about 3 hours. If there are clear grounds for concern, it may progress to a more detailed inspection, adding another hour or two. Ships with a poor inspection history may be subject to a more detailed inspection. If the master believes a port state control inspection is likely, because the ship has not had one for a while, or that the agent has said that there's been an inquiry from port state control, the master should double check the gangway watch. An ineffective or absent gangway watch will start the inspection badly, as it implies poor compliance with the ISM code. A proper gangway watch must always be in place. The ISPS code must be strictly kept to. Ships with high target scores, such as older bulk carriers, passenger ships, oil tankers, and gas and chemical carriers, will be subjected to an expanded inspection, which will take 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah, I think gangway watch is important just for security. You don't have people on board you don't like. But on the other hand, the people who are on board, you know who they are, and you know their tasks. So in the case of an emergency, you can easily get them on.
Under the PSC rule, a ship is obliged to inform the port if it believes that it is due for a mandatory expanded inspection. The PSC website lists the types of ship for which this is required. Always ensure that the PSCO is escorted to the master's cabin. Be aware that the inspector will be looking around to see the state of the ship.
So, Captain, you know the purpose of our post-day control inspection is to ensure all the ships calling and on-call comply with the international standards. So then can we start with the documentation?
Once the PSCO is on board, the master should prepare the ship's documentation for inspection. The ship should know that the PSCOs are not surveyors. Their objective is not to trick or trap the ship. Their job is to confirm that the ship is in good structural condition, well managed, and crewed by properly trained and competent personnel. A good test of this is the documentation. So all port state inspections will start with a full examination of the ship's documents. The ship must have the convention certificates required for its type, its year of build, its tonnage, and for the cargo it carries. These must be in date and endorsed for the required surveys by recognized organizations or the flag state. Particular attention will be paid to the manning documentation. All the crew certificates will be examined to check compliance with the STCW convention. In an initial inspection, at least 1 hour will be taken up with examining the documents.
The most important documents for me are the manning certificate. It says something about how many people and how those people should be trained and educated. And also the STCW certificates, of course, they tell something that the crew is properly trained and educated. And of course also the statutory certificate, which says something about the condition of the ship. Can you ask him to sign this one?
One common problem is crew members who have not signed their flag state endorsements. It's better for them to do this before the arrival of the PSCO. There are a number of areas where the documentation is particularly carefully examined. One of these is the ISM code. The document of compliance and the safety management certificate will always be examined. It's important because these documents reflect the ability and commitment of the operating company managing the ship.
And who have access to these documents on the ship?
All crew.
All crew.
If these documents are inaccurate or not up to date, then the ship's safety management system is liable to be examined more fully.
These are all inspections currently to be done.
Another document that will be examined in detail is the oil record book. This is because people and politicians are very sensitive about oil spills.
Usually I look at the weekly record of the sludge in the ship, and also how do they treat oily water. Also look at the record of discharge of the oily sludge, because oily water and oily sludge are source of pollution, so we need to have a close monitor of how they handle these kind of oily waste.
Even though the vast majority of oil in the sea is run off from the land, there are many waiting to pounce on any ship that spills oil. Is the oil record book detailed and kept correctly? Is it up to date? Is it consistent with the IOPP, the International Oil Pollution Prevention Certificate? Do the entries tally with the capability of the oily water separator? Any mistake in the book should be clearly crossed out, and the corrections signed with the initial mistake remain illegible. Any doubts or inconsistencies will be of great concern to any PSCO.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
If the ship certificates are acceptable and the PSCO has no clear grounds for a more detailed or enhanced inspection, the next stage of inspection will be a walk around the ship.
Okay, Captain, finished.
With the people.
Finished the paperwork, yes. I'd like to make inspection of the bridge now. And after that, go on the deck area. Yes, please.
Usually, the master will accompany the PSCO, but it doesn't have to be the master. What's important is that the PSCO is accompanied by a senior officer who can answer any questions.
I'll send our second officer, who's in charge of our navigation charts. He'll come in the company. Thank you. Second mate, Rory, come in.
There is no specific order for the areas to be visited. Generally, the order is the bridge, then the deck, including all safety equipment, followed by the engine room, and ending up in the galley. Sometimes one PSCO will examine the deck and another the engine room.
Yeah, please press the light.
On the bridge, the PSCO will want to be reassured that all the equipment is functioning, that the reference books are up to date, and that there is detailed voyage planning.
Can I please see your voyage planning, please?
There must be a system in place for chart collection. There may be cultural differences between the ship's personnel and the PSCO, but both must show mutual respect. Neither side should try to mislead the other. There may be differences between PSCOs from different enemy ports, but the inspection regime is the same. Each PSCO is a professional, and they use their professional judgment in their work.
Okay, Chief. So, please start the engine.
For the survival craft, the PSCO will want to see that they are in good condition and that they have been inspected as scheduled. The PSCO will want to know that all the life rafts are in date. PSCOs will need to be certain that regular drills take place. They can ask for a safety drill to be performed, provided the master decides it is safe to do so. It's easy to find faults with any ship, because no ship is ever perfect. The question is, does the deficiency or fault threaten the personnel or the environment? If there are serious deficiencies, these provide the PSCO with clear grounds for a more detailed inspection, as well as referring to the appropriate conventions. PSCOs use their professional judgment to determine this.
You have a screwdriver or something?
Here, the condition of the lifeboat davit gives real cause for concern.
Cứ bằng keo dán con sơn lên thế này chết rồi.
Appliances is in such a poor state. What about less important steelwork? This is clear grounds for the inspector to progress to a more detailed inspection. PSCOs will want to look at the cargo plan and may want to speak to the chief officer. They must accommodate their inspections to the operational needs of the ship and its crew.
You see what's wrong? If it's cut, and the life of goes overboard, then you have this one. Pulling. But it stays attached to the ship, so the life of never goes overboard. Where's the weak link? Yes, the weak link. No, this one stays connected to the ship when the life raft goes overboard, because there's no weak link here. But this one will not break. It will stay attached. It says paint the line. Here you should connect. There you have your weak link. Yeah. Is it completely true?
The condition of the accommodation steelwork is examined and found to be seriously deficient. On deck, the PSCO from pipes, and also if the mooring lines are well maintained.
Okay. 6 seconds. In the engine room, I need to see some items.
In the engine room, the PSCO will need to be accompanied by an engineer. The general appearance is important. Is it clean and tidy? Are there any obvious leaks?
All the water separator is a very important equipment on board, because that equipment controls the discharge of all the water from the ship to the sea. So we always check that the equipment is working properly.
Because of the political sensitivities of oil pollution, there will almost always be an inspection of the oily water separator. The officer in charge of it should be ready to accompany the PSCO. Any evidence of recent repairs, such as fresh paintwork around flanges, will lead to questions. The PSCO will want to see that the emergency steering gear is functioning properly and properly maintained. In the galley, the PSCO will be looking for information on the crew's living conditions. Is the galley clean? Is fighting fires on stoves readily available? Is the food properly stored? Is there enough for the entire week? The PSCO may ask any crew member about their duties. The objective is to ensure that the people on board are competent.
And where's the luggage?
There may be questions about the disposal and the records of disposal of garbage. Crew members may be asked what their emergency duties are. The senior management team should ensure that all crew members know how to respond to any question.
My duty is mix of food and items and
They must keep it simple and to the point. Never elaborate and always be polite.
And which slide was? Okay, thank you.
The PSCO is there to confirm that everything on the ship is up to industry standards.
Okay.
If the PSCO has serious concerns about the ship, they have the power to detain it. This sanction is only applied when the PSCO finds deficiencies that pose an unreasonable risk to the cargo or make the ship unfit to go to sea. There will always be the right of appeal, but the details of this vary in different port states, as it depends on national legislation.
Yes.
Well, Captain, I finished the inspection and I'm now going to complete my report.
The PSCO will always go through the findings with the master and discuss any deficiencies found.
Okay, Captain. Generally speaking, the vessel is a very good vessel, and we are glad to see that the standard has been maintained very high. But as you know, no ship is perfect.
It is unusual for there to be no deficiency. There may be differences between the conventions and local legislation. The ship will have to comply to the port state's legislation, even if its own flag state's regulations are less strict. The PSCO must have evidence of any deficiency, and the master must check that this is not the result of a misunderstanding. The PSCO may want to be reassured that all minor deficiencies will be rectified before departure. Usually, the final meeting is a discussion between fellow professionals to sort out small differences of opinion. It is important that any action taken by the PSCO is consistent with the nature and seriousness of the deficiency. The PSCO can insist that the deficiencies are put right before departure, or within 14 days, or at the next port. Unless it's sent to the next port, and the consequences are serious, the ship does not go there for repair. If a deficiency that led to detention is put right immediately, it may not delay the ship, but it will still be recorded as a detention in the PSCO's report. If there are disagreements, then the master should be fair but polite and let the ship's operator deal with it. On this ship, there were several detainable deficiencies.
Okay, 3 pages of deficiencies. Okay, I'll go with you one by one. Both port side and starboard side live rods not stowed properly.
However, an inspection by a recognized organization was taking place at the same time. This surveyor had identified the same problems as the PSCO.
Door to hospital on both decks, starboard side completely wasted. Found forward davit on the starboard lifeboat hold after the top sheet. Also small holes in the davit foundation. Solenoid for oil level alarm on the oil water separator not working properly.
The recognized organization insisted that the ship rectify all deficiencies before departure.
Then this one is the last one, in fact, it's not really a deficiency, it's more as the large number of defects as noted on this report clearly indicates the breakdown in the ISM system. I give you 18 for
Đúng lý
that.
rồi.
You need 3 months. So you have to do
Gọi về công ty ngay.
How much?
17. Must be rectified before departure. Clause to verify rectification of the deficiencies before departure. Clause to report to Port of Control Office before departure.
This PSC took the view that in this particular situation, it was not necessary to detain the ship, as the recognised organisation was going to ensure that all the problems were put right before departure. The PSCO insisted that the recognised organisation report directly to the Port State Authority before the ship's departure to confirm that all the deficiencies had been rectified.
Okay, Captain. Thank you very much for your cooperation and hospitality. Good luck.
Good luck. I'll see you again. I'll see you again.
With all the deficiencies noted, together with the time allowed to rectify those deficiencies. The majority of the MOUs made these inspection reports available in detail to the maritime community and in summary to the public at large via the internet. This is part of the naming and shaming of inadequate ship operators. But for the properly managed ship and qualified personnel, there will always be a positive result from the port state inspection.
Okay, so Captain, so that's all for today. Thank you for the information. Wish you have a good day. Thank you.
The PSCO's primary function is to ensure that the ship is not putting at risk the people, waterways, ports, and seaboard of the port state. The global spread of port state control has helped improve safety at sea. It also helps ensure that all ship operators are competing for business on equal grounds. It's in everyone's interests, those on board ship, and also owners, operators, and managers, as well as charterers, to improve and maintain all shipping to high standards. Port state control makes a major contribution to this objective.
You can see from our records that the detention rates of the process inspection have been dropped year by year.
My experience is that in the last 5 years, the standard of the ships are going up.
Okay, so how the video? Get something?
The passive is Chinese.
Submarine is one of the Merckline subsidiary company. Yes, container ship Merckline.
Very old one.
The old one, I don't know what company that. But look at the two ships that you see the inspection that they have done. They start from when the inspector arrives the ship. When they arrive the ship, they start to look at mooring line, gangway, ship side, painting, load line mark before they go up to the ship. So from the video, you can see that how they select the ship. Before the ship arrives, they know the list of the ship going to arrive in the next port. Arrive that port, they will look at the record of the ship. The first one, they will look at the ship name. The ship name, that if you ever have bad record, when it process control inspection the ship before, your ship will priority. The flag of the ship. If you have the ship that with the flag, that is bad record. When it process control or in the list, in the red list or whatever, then flag is the second one. And then the third one, if you have many ships operating in one ship manager, because now you have IO number for the company. Company have IO number. So if the company have many ship and then the ship in that company many project control, they target the ship owner, the ship manager. That's another one. This is very bad. If suppose that they put in the backlist of the ship manager, all every ship in the fleet will target. All the ship in the fleet will target. So you have 10 ship, whatever, 10 ship go anywhere, they will target all 10 ship. Then the company will really get a lot of trouble. You can see that's why the best thing that try to avoid to have this kind of target. This kind of target. Then you have target, you will have a lot of problem. In ABS, we have a system. In ABS, we also have a system that we call target ship list. We have a point for the vessel, a mark for the ship. If the ship more than 20 years, how many points of this ship? And then project control, how many project control in 1 year? We give the point. If the ship lists the point that high risk, we will inspection the ship more than 1 time per year. More than 1 time per year. And then we will inspection the ship, take opportunity, any soldier attend the ship, we will do full inspection of the vessel in order to avoid project control. Because class, if project control the ship in the class also have trouble. It's not good for the class. That's why there's really concern of the quality of the ship. We want to work with the ship owner to upgrade the vessel. Like this kind of training, we want to bring up the awareness to the ship owner to understand how to maintain the vessel, how to deal with the project control. All right. And then from the video, you can see that they come up to the ship, they walk to the gangway wash. Gangway wash, you see how the gangway wash working. They have to check the ID, ask question of the inspector, and then record on the gangway log. Based on my experience, I have did many audits, more than 100 ship audit for the SPS since 2004, since start implement of SPS. I found that many gangway logs have problem. Either not properly record. Sometimes the stevedore or worker or visitor came up to the ship. The crew just give gangway log to them to log. I can say that 50% of the one that they log in the record book could not read. Don't know what are they writing, what the name of the person also we don't know. They just write and then you never check again the ID that could you read or not. Right? Sometimes I ask the captain, who is this guy? He himself will not read who is that, what is the name. And then correct name or not, that is the other one. And then end of the day, we look at the gangway log. We count the number of the person that sign in the ship, but never sign off. It means that they come up to the ship but never go back. More than 100 people. Every port have 1 or 2 people, never sign off. So it means that when the ship leaves port, shipmate or captain never look at the gangway log, that all the visitors go out from the ship. So it means that the visitor only sign on, but never sign off. He's still on the ship. So it's best that before the ship departure or after the ship departure, captain get the gangway log, look into it. Who is not sign off, you put the date and sign off for him. So make sure that the port clear, only the crew will remain on the ship. Visitor or sign off. It's really simple job, simple task, but it's really important. I give you one scenario. If suppose that one person, one stevedore or one visitor came up to the ship and then he signed on the ship and then never go back, never sign off. And then later, 1 or 2 days, they found that he missing. He missing. His family report to the police that my husband go to work on the ship and never come back. And then later on, they found his body somewhere in the sea. The investigation, the last destination that he came up to your ship, never go out. How you answer as a master? How you tell to the police? He will go out, but never sign off. He's still there. This is a very simple task, but then create a lot of problems. Alright, so be aware of this envelope is very important. And then the other one that they target, they expect is the documentation on the ship, especially for the crew before they join the ship. Make sure all the document, agreement, contract, or whatever they sign. I see many times that they miss out to sign acknowledge from the crew. This is very simple, just signature, only 5 seconds. But when the process control, they inspection the ship, they not look at that you forget, you miss out, but they look at the system, the procedure, how the company procedure, how you miss out this kind of thing. And then for the crew, you not sign the contract immediately, you not get contract, the contract not complete. You need to protect your own benefit. You need to look at the document and sign. In case if anything happens, this document is legal document. It's the only legal document you have between you and the company, and between the company and the crew. This is very important, so make sure that all documents are signed properly. And then the other one that I always see on the ship, that's publication on board the ship. I ask you a question that the old publication on the ship like Solas, Mapo, the old version, the old revision that you have on the ship, after the company supply you the new one, do the old one you keep on the ship or you throw away? No, I ask this question, who is the captain here? Yes. You keep or you throw away the old publication on board? Must be keep. What is the reason why you say that it must be keep? I want to know the reason. I want to make you understand why you have to keep or why you have to throw away.
Because human now.
Huh?
Because in my opinions, because the workshop at the past they apply the regulation in the old version. That is true, but when a new version coming, that's the regulation become expiry. So if we do something in the past,
yes,
it will regulation in the old version.
Yes.
We show that why you do this. We show the orders at that time I do right.
Yes.
But then the mistake is wrong, but in the past I do right.
So you mean that you have to keep the old publication?
Yes, I have to keep. Because we do the past, the batch job.
Yes.
Follow the old edition.
Yes. Okay, so the old publication on board, the old one, actually the one that you come with the ship from delivery, you need to keep. This is very important. Because the ship was built according to that SOLAS, that year SOLAS. The ship SOLAS apply to the ship based on the Q date of the ship. For example, your ship built 2000, year 2000. You are compliant with 2000 SOLAS. You are not compliant with 2019 SOLAS. So the ship 100% compliant with 2000 SOLAS. Then you have to keep that book for reference. Okay, so the new SOLAS that the company supplied to you, it may be your ship only comply 5% with that SOLAS, but it 100% with the old SOLAS. Then that's why you need to keep the old SOLAS book or MAPO. Alright, don't throw away. You cannot buy anymore after you throw it away. You cannot find it one. In publication, they don't have the old one. Okay, so, and then as a ship manager, as a company, if you have the ship in different year, you have to have all the SOLAS that different year in your company. When you have trouble with process control or vending inspector, you can refer. You look at the first thing when I receive email from the ship owner about the NC finding from the oil major or PSC. The first thing that I will look at it when the ship Q date of the vessel. That's the first thing I will look at before I look at the regulation. When I look at the Q lay, then I know that this ship built under this SOLAS, then I will look at that SOLAS. Okay, so as a master, it's really important that you understand that your ship built according to which solas. Sometimes process control, so they are not Superman. They also mistake. They are not perfect. Okay, so if you understand the requirement, you can challenge them. You can challenge them. Ask them, this new solar, my ship is built this year. It's not required to comply with this solar. Why you give me this finding? Okay, you have to do that. You should not say, yes sir, yes sir, everything yes sir, no. I can tell you when I was 7 years in Singapore, I trained many US Coast Guard, I trained many MPA inspector. When they recruit a new inspector, they could not train by themselves because they have not enough ship. They ask ABS, please you help to train my inspector. So we train process control from Singapore, even US Coast Guard. US Coast Guard, they send the inspector from US come to Singapore because they know that in Singapore we have many ships. Each year we have a few hundred ship inspection. So they send the inspector come to Singapore to train with us. So we teach the inspector. So they don't know everything the same. Okay? And the other documentation that's very important is oil record book. Oil record book must be accurate when you record. Many times I see that sometimes the oil record book is mistake, error in the capacity of the tanks. The best reference that you can get is the supplement form B, right? Your tanker supplement form B. In supplement form B, we will mention tank capacity, each tank capacity. Make sure that when you log in the oil record book that you use the correct capacity of the tank. I see sometimes they record the oil record book, the capacity of the oil inside the tank bigger than the tank, more than the tank, because they refer to the wrong capacity. That was also another issue. And then the inspection that the inspector that they inspect the next one, the equipment on the ship, lifeboat, rescue boat, oil motor separator, galley, and then they check the crew for the ISM. That's how the crew understand ISM here. All right. Okay, we go to the process control material of the light. So this material mainly provides prepare from ABS history of the process control inspector in China, MSA. In China, do you have ship go to China?
Yes.
Okay, this process control material made from the report from MSA China process control. Okay, so this material just prepared for our training purpose only, not for sale or whatever. Right?
Yes.
So what is the process control? What the intention of process control? Why the inspection of the ship? So they want to, I just go to the main point here. They might think that they want to eliminate substandard ship. What the meaning substandard ship? The ship that under standard, poor maintenance, poor management, right? And then for the do not pose a pollution risk, provide healthy and safe working environment for the crew. So we need to take care of the crew. They want the crew to have good living on the ship, good environment of working, and then protect the environment. Comply with the relevant convention. It's cover all. This one is very simple word, but it's cover the whole thing, everything. Look at the Tokyo MOU inspection, the record. Which country is the most? You see China. From the record of this one, total how many? 31,000 inspection. China contributes 7,000, so 33% of inspection. China is the biggest, and then the next one is Japan. Australia. And then around this country, this region, you have Hong Kong, also 2.12%, 600 over inspection. Indonesia, 6%. Thailand, 1.94. Vietnam, you have 4.87%. You can see all the countries around here very active. Korea, Philippines, Singapore. You can see that the inspection is very active in this area. So if your ship go not proper maintenance, go any port in this region, it's very high risk for the process control inspection of the vessel. Okay. Okay, first, how do you understand the MOU, Memorandum of Understanding? Tokyo MOU, Paris MOU. Tokyo MOU is the contract they signed between the country in this region. Joint venture, work together for inspection of the ship. There are how many ship countries? 20, 30 countries join together. Alright, then Paris MOU is in Europe, the US Coast Guard. Another one is Australia, AMSA. So from the record in 2017, after process control working very hard together with class, we found that the process control detention reduced. Reduced means the size better improvement means the ship owner aware of the impact of the process control. So they keep the ship higher standard, so less detention. Okay. So normally then we have CIC, concentrated inspection campaign. They will announce this to the ship owner that the next CIC, the next quarterly or whatever, they will concentrate on this item. This one we can obtain from the website of Paris MOU, Tokyo MOU. They will mention very clear. This is the sample of the CIC campaign, right? Look at the record of 2017 inspection in China. This one only in China alone. Total vessel detained in China in 2017, 382 ships. This one is base class vessel. For a base class ship, they inspect 2,311 ships. Detained 600. This one didn't see. Sorry, this one didn't see that they found the ship from 674 vessels. Look at the record. Look at the record of the item. You can see top in 2017. Lifeboat is number 1. Lifeboat number 1. Next one, fire safety, emergency life battery and switch, firefighting equipment. Look at this statistic. Remember these 3 items. If you repeat again and again every year, so it means that the process control when they go to the ship, they will target on this item. Now we know that the process control will target this item, so we have to pay more attention on this item in order to avoid process control detain the ship. Right? When you know that they want to see this one, then you prepare this one for them to see, then you are safe. Same. Lifeboat number 1. Lifeboat is number 1. Rescue boat, life buoy. Other fire safety is still there. Fire safety is still there. Insulator, quick fire extinguishing, installation. Sea statistic in 14. Lifeboat, number 1. Number 2, fire damper. Number 3, resource ISM. Look at 15. Lifeboat is number 1. Detain item by process control. Fire damper number 2. These 2 years not changed, the same. Look at 16. Lifeboat is number 1. 17 also the same thing. Lifeboat is very small, but why so many items that they can detain the ship? I don't understand. So we that the crew not understand how to inspect the ship, how to maintain the vessel, the lifeboat. Actually, lifeboat is very small, nothing inside, nothing much. If you make it follow the procedure properly. So I would suggest that now what the company have to do is look at your maintenance procedure about the lifeboat, about the fire safety, what you have to do every month, every week. Weekly inspection, what the shipmate have to do. Not go inside the ship, just see half hour, then come out, log in the logbook, I have inspection, lifeboat finished. But what he checked, do the captain ever ask the ship, second mate or third mate, what are you doing in the lifeboat? What do you check in the lifeboat? What do you test in the lifeboat for every week? You can see, all process control number one item is lifeboat. For how many years? Continue. 4 or 5 years. Lifeboat is number one. Okay, we look at the lifeboat. What is the dimension of the lifeboat? There are a few items that I would like to highlight here. Like engine not start, that is very common. If you miss out this engine, lifeboat engine is very common that you have to get detailed. But this item, drain plug of both side lifeboat not marked. Do you aware of this item? That the drain plug you need to mark. What marking? It means that the drain plug, the process control want to see that when you go inside the lifeboat, you know exactly where the drain plug. You need to mark on the cover that below here is the drain plug. They want you to go inside the lifeboat, you can go direct to the drain plug and put the plug on. Okay? The other one, the plug of drain valve not attached to the starboard side lifeboat. What the meaning of this one? They want you to have the wire rope or the chain to tie the plug is there. They don't want the plug to go somewhere that you could not find. In emergency, everybody excited. They want you to go down and put the plug immediately, as short as possible time that you spend for the drain plug. Okay? This is the one, the drain plug, right? And then port side lifeboat failed to be started by number 2 battery. How you test starting of the engine? You need to test battery. If you have 2 sets of battery, you need to test one by one. Number 1 start, after start engine finish, start by number 2. And then after synchronize 2 batteries start together. Not coincide start 2 batteries at the same time, then okay. But when the process control they go up to the ship, they test one by one, they don't test both together. That's why they found port side lifeboat not start by battery number 2. Okay? This one is small ball. Okay, lifeboat for the starboard side, 5 years service record was available on board. When the ship go to the dock, document that you service the lifeboat must keep properly. Okay, must keep properly for the post-state inspector to review. Right? Lethal effective material not fitted on the bottom of first starboard lifeboat. Do this item required to put on at the bottom of the lifeboat. As a master, if post-state control gives this to you, how you to defend yourself? At the bottom of the lifeboat. Yes. This item. You know the new lifeboat now we have, actually your tanker. The new lifeboat that we have is sail lining. Sail lining. You understand sail lining? Sail lining means no matter how you turn the lifeboat, the top will come up. Because the bottom is heavier. Correct? The lifeboat go inside the water, even the wave come up or whatever, the lifeboat turn. No matter how it turn, the bottom will go down, the top will come up.
More heavier than the...
Yeah, the bottom heavier than the top.
Yeah.
So the lifeboat will never capsize.
Yes.
The top never come up
Yeah.
to the sky. So the tape on the bottom is liquid or not? It's inside the water. Not liquid, right? It's not liquid. But why they put this positive control? You can see. So when the master not understand the requirement, and then not defend himself. That's why positive control put this and he accept. If I'm the captain and we defend this item, I will not accept. I will ask the positive control officer why I need to put at the bottom when my ship is self-lining. Right? Okay, so you understand that next time if they give you this tendency, you should not accept.
What about the lifeboat like that?
Like this, yes.
Yes.
They put, I don't know why they put, because you are not required here, okay. Above water, okay.
Yeah.
Below water, who go down to see the lifeboat from below? No way. The top important, the side important, but the top, bottom. Bottom,
Our ship hand.
but help really, it's okay. Don't take out. Just leave
It's
it.
a bottom.
Yes.
Our ship can has
Not like that have a certificate of the lifeboat always floating.
Yes.
If like that have a certificate of lifeboat always floating.
Yes.
How can we find out certificate of lifeboat?
The lifeboat certificate.
Yeah. But the lifeboat like that on way floating.
Yes.
So that the water
Oh.
underwater.
Yes.
How can I show for him the certificate of the lifeboat?
How you show the certificate on the lifeboat on this one? How you okay? First thing, how you know that your lifeboat is self-lining?
Yeah.
Okay, who can answer me? Where to find the requirement of the lifeboat that's self-lining or not? Yeah. Anybody can tell me? You look at the safety equipment form E. Safety equipment certificate on the ship. You have attachment form E, right?
Yes.
Form E. Inside the form E will tell you what type of lifeboat have. Inside form E they will tell you. You have fire protection lifeboat. You have fire protection. You have 3 types of lifeboat. If they mark fire protection, means you are compliant with all 3. I don't have internet here. You have internet, I can connect you. Okay? So you get it, huh? Inside form E, you can check that one. Right? And then this one, no positive device for automatic closing to prevent entry of water when the lifeboat number 2 in the waterborne. You know your lifeboat is firefighting, it's a fire protection lifeboat. You will have a non-return valve at the door here, at the aft door. At the aft door, they have a non-return valve, right? A big non-return valve. Because why they need this non-return valve? Because when the lifeboat inside the water, if the big ship is fire, a lot of smoke, many smoke around that area. So you need to open the air pressure inside. You have air bottle inside the lifeboat, correct, Captain?
Yes.
You have air bottle inside the lifeboat. So this air bottle, when the boat in the water, the cool inside, you open the air. Open the air. To supply the air for the people inside, and at the same time to make the lifeboat positive pressure. What the meaning of positive pressure? That make the pressure inside the lifeboat out big more than outside. So the smoke will come inside the boat.
Yes.
When the inside lifeboat have more pressure, air, the smoke from outside cannot come inside. So when the pressure is too high, non-return valve at the door here we open, release the pressure out from the lifeboat, and then goes back. You go back to the ship next time you see this one. So you need to go and check every week, make sure the shipmate the in charge officer they go and check this non-return valve is moving because have spring. If like a tank case relief valve, it's the same. When pressure inside more, you push this one out, then it will open. After open the pressure release, then it close back. So the smoke can come inside. Okay? This is also the air bottle inside the lifeboat is very important. make sure that your air inside enough for certain period. Right? Oh, look at this. Code 30. If engine not working, all this code 30 detain item. This is the actual deviancy we cut and paste from the report. Right? The next deviancy for the lifeboat still plug. Now the plug is the item that always overlooked by the ship crew. Okay? Important thing that we have to have a marking on the cover where the plug. The plug must have the chain connect to the hull, not to let the plug low go somewhere. Yes. Right? That's important. And then the other one is the window. This window made by acrylic sheet, plastic sheet. So when hot with the sunlight long time, this window will be not clear. Therefore, what is not clear, so cannot see outside. So sometimes you need to change this window plastic. Right?
Nhưng tôi bây giờ đang có cái lỗi này. Thêm mà
or sometimes if you are free for lifeboat or whatever, sometimes the grease dock here, you need to clean it, make sure that it's clean. Okay? The rest is all the same. I mean, that's very simple item. One, we have process control about the magnetic compass inside the lifeboat. Magnetic compass inside the lifeboat deviation very high. How often you check the magnetic compass in the lifeboat compared to gyro compass in the big ship? Check to the bridge to compare. Because the ship is your ship is a steel. Yes. Steel ship. Yes. So the magnetic compass will affect with the steel. Yes. It will make your ship even worse. If you go near to the ship, yes, even worse. The best way to calibrate that, you take out the compass, then the ship alongside, bring it far away from the ship, then you check. When the lifeboat launches inside the water, the lifeboat will go for the big ship. So the magnetic compass will come back. Huh? This one? Oh yeah. No, you can. Yes, you cannot. You have to find a way to. You have to bring the compass out from the vessel to check. Have to bring out to the ship to check. You cannot use the. Compare bring out to the ship because your ship is steel. It affects the magnetic compass. Become worse. Yes. Only way bring out from the ship, far away from the ship, then we check. Okay, that is very important. Recently, we have this issue with the border control in China. They check the deviation of the magnetic compass on board the ship, the lifeboat compared to the gyro compass on board. All right. Again, then valve. Look at this then valve. I will not go through all the detail, but so many window then valve. That just highlight item that you need to pay attention. Yeah. This is very common. Skyline or skyline boat not keep watertight. The cover of the lifeboat, water leaking inside. The non-return valve that they say is here. This is the one that they mark with white color. Inside here have non-return valve. Okay. Sometimes it's not here. Sometimes you really big one here. Go and see. Normally at the door, this door, the non-return valve, the air release valve. All right. And the other one that the limit switch on the debit, if you have conventional lifeboat with a debit, limit switch have to test when you heat up the lifeboat. When you start the heat up to test the limit switch that is working, test one by one. Okay. Do you have free fall lifeboat in the company? Yes. Yeah. You have free fall lifeboat, right? Okay, later we will look at another one. Which one? This one? This one is really common. If you have this, you can see mean that your maintenance not properly. This one.
The red color means that's the cost 30.
No, the red color we highlight. We want to highlight to you to pay attention.
Yeah, by one.
Yes, yes. Because the other item is very common item, like enter, release, device, defective. All these items very common item that you should not miss out. But the highlight item that we want to highlight, the new item that process control pay attention. Recently. This one. The color of seat belt for a seat not contrast with the belt for the seat immediately adjacent. This one. You see? The seat must be different color between the inside lifeboat. Do this require to every lifeboat? If the ship built in certain year, not required. Old ship not required. Only new ship. Later we see. Okay? That's why I say that solar is really important. The solar for the ship build, the QLA is really important. Okay, this requirement come from resolution PSC 4866 adopted on 4th June 1996. This became mandatory under the convention after 1st July 1998. So the ship built after 1st July 1998, QLA, the ship QLA after 1st July 1998 should have the seat belt like this. If the ship built before this, one day, you build 30 June or so, you're not required to comply. Okay?
Tất cả tổng hình tàu được 6 ấy. Rồi, cái chu với cái kia là hình 6 7 có xong số từ đồng nghĩa.
Remember, this is the keyword. 1st July 1998. I have problem recently with one of the possible in Malaysia. In Malaysia, they give dependency to the ship. They give dependency to the vessel, Vietnamese vessel. I sent back to the inspector that he give wrong dependency. The ship built 19 something, not 1998. Before that, the ship built in 1998, but not 1st July. The ship built in a few days before this requirement. Okay. Remember this word, this keyword is important, right? Free fall lifeboat. Is it required to have like this?
No need.
Is it required to have like this?
It's separated. Separated already. So
yes.
Cannot mix with another.
Yeah. Look at the requirement. Free fall lifeboat shall be fitted a safety harness at each seat in contrast color. The important thing that for the free fall lifeboat and the conventional lifeboat, that the difference is that because of the free fall lifeboat, the seat already designed to one person. Nobody can sit in the between and mix up this one. You have to sit here. So the seat belt have to be different color with the seat. If this one black, this one cannot have black. You have another color. But you are not required to have different color between the seat adjacent. Okay? For the fuel lifeboat, not required. But the only important thing that the seat belt have to be different color with this one. So important if you have like this already, and then you know that your ship have to comply. You don't go and paint it. Painting on the seat belt not allowed. Okay? Not allowed to paint. You need to do something else, not paint, not to paint by color, by use the paint to paint. No, this is not acceptable. Because of the paint inside, they have solvent, they have thinner. If you paint on this one, you can damage the seat belt. Okay? You can put other marking or something else, but not paint. Alright? You can put some marking, you can put some power or something like that. Yeah, you have to renew. The best way to renew. But not paint. Right?
Rồi có cái thinner nó sẽ làm mấy cái
Thinner will damage the one.
Từ bé đến lớn chưa được vào cái iPod của nó.
Okay, one of the item here. One of the item here. Radar detector in lifeboat expired. There is type of radar detector that is have expiry date.
No.
Huh? They already found this some radar detector on the lifeboat have expiry date.
But some not all.
Some not, yeah, some they say some not all. Some of them, okay? So make sure that you check properly. Okay? And then the other one that they are concerned that the inventory,
Có lắp và có hãng. Cái ra ra phản ảnh thì có hãng mà.
Không anh có cái có hay không à? Nó là cái kiến
rồi
rồi
đâu
đâu.
nó nhảy mà.
so now you know something different. They have expiry date of the radar detector. Later we will see. Okay, the other one that loose item inside the lifeboat, like drinking water that we put in the drum or whatever in the gallon. You need to secure properly, because when the lifeboat launch in the water, large sea, this item can move and hit the people inside. That's the third concern about the safety. So that's why you need to secure properly. Latch it properly. Alright? You see the item that they talk, deviation of any compass of lifeboat too big, more than 20 degrees.
So how many degree different is standard?
Actually, the maybe compass in the lifeboat, they don't have any requirement that how many degrees acceptable. Because when you're inside the lifeboat, you should not go very far. And then you don't have destination to go, you don't have where to go.
Yes.
Right? You don't have that requirement, but then I don't know why this one is come up. And then how the inspector they check that 20 degree.
How?
Like I
compare
said,
with gyro compass?
yeah, they compare with gyro compass. Like I said, the lifeboat's on the steel. When you lost the lifeboat is go away from the big ship. The magnetic compass, the deviation will come back.
Yeah.
So the best thing that you take out the compass away from the ship and check the heading compared to the gyro compass, but not check with the compass on the ship.
Tại vì cái lỗ 30 còn bắt lỗ này.
Okay. This is the radar detector. You see?
Yes.
This one is foldable. Radar detector, they have expiry date somewhere here, I don't know where.
Some Chinese language.
Yeah. They have expiry date here. Yeah, I think here. 2011 to 17. They have expiry date. There are many types of radar detector. Normally we see this type on the ship.
Yes.
But nowadays this type sometimes is too big to put inside the stove. So they put the foldable one. They use the foldable one, non-metallic foldable type, which they can fold, become small, and put inside the locker. This type have expiry date, so be careful. This type we seldom see, because it's really big, we cannot put inside the locker. This type also maybe in the future will be less, maybe this type will be more. So be aware of this. And then the other item that we will see issue that this, do you know this one? This is the hook, go up to the hook on the top. This item go down to the keel of the lifeboat. This is the place that hold the lifeboat from the hook. So this piece of steel bar is very important. If really a lot of corrosion, the lifeboat may not be able to take load when the people go inside, it can be shear off or cut, broken, or whatever. So take care of this piece. Sometimes when the boat, you keep store the boat, there are some water at the bottom, not fully drained out. This connection here start corrosion. Okay, they made this one. Normally this piece is galvanized, they put galvanized cover it. But if you see that this piece start corrosion or whatever, better you clean and paint it properly. Keep clean and paint, don't let corrosion. If this piece corrosion, you have a lot of things to do. The boat cannot repair in the position, you have to take out the boat. After you repair finish, you have to do load test. Load test, make sure that it can hold the load. It's very expensive. to repair this. Okay, and then all these fracture of the lifeboat, make sure you're taking care. You see, if crack like this, if you are free fall, if you drop in the water, it can break apart. The boat can become a pieces. Okay. Okay, this part is rescue boat. Launching a van not meet LSA requirement. Why they say that launching a van not meeting LSA requirement? Do you aware of this? Recently, Process Control in China, they catch a lot of these items.
Can you little bit about frequency of launching green airport to water?
Rescue lifeboat of free fall lifeboat.
Free fall airport.
Free fall lifeboat, I think I can't remember surely. Frequency, yes, you need to launch also in the water.
How we can launch green airport to water?
Okay, the free fall lifeboat you have to have launching. You have to have launching. One is free fall, one is second means. Second means of launching.
Yeah.
Second means of launching means that you launch by David. You launch by David. You launch by David. Both launching and you need to test both of them. Both of them need to test. Okay, we talk about the rescue free fall lifeboat. Launching by free fall, you need to test during the ship in the dock every 5 years.
If launching free fall, we only take up the hook only. We only take up the hook.
Yes.
No need to one.
Normally we do simulation tests. Normally we do simulation tests when we are in the dock sometimes. We use the cable to hold the boat and we jack and release the boat just to let's see the boat can go off from the hook. That we always test with the load. With the load, but we not really drop.
Yeah.
And then the second means of launching, we launch by David. Because why the reason why you need to launch by the David test also with the load? Because sometimes there are so many things floating on the water, you cannot launch the lifeboat to hit the thing and then your boat may damage. Or water too shallow. If the ship grounding, the water too shallow, you cannot launch the boat by default. You have to lower by the David.
Yes, in.
But then in the requirement, I think every 6 months you have to launch one time, right?
Yes, every 6 months. Every 6 months.
You need to launch the boat.
Re-phone airport.
Yes.
One time. And 3 months. 3 months must be.
Put in water and testing.
Put in with the launch with the
testing engine.
Yes.
Yes. Every 3 months. Yes.
About the launching applicants,
yes.
Yeah, the new requirements required for the
it's not the new
less than 700.
The new requirement coming up that actually not new requirement, it's long time.
Yes.
So the requirement, okay, we look at the new requirement. The requirement. This LSA requirement 6.1.1.3.
Yes.
Okay, 6.1.1.3. A PSC. You see this one, huh? The Process Control Inspector in China, they don't accept that when the lifeboat is sitting in the cradle like this, before you launching, you have to go and hanging, lift up this one first.
Yes.
Before you swing out. Before you swing out.
Yes.
So the whole requirement that if you have this kind of rescue boat, the boat weight, including equipment, everything less than 500 kilometer. 500 kilometer, less than 500 kilometer, they allow you to swing out by manual. By manual, swing out by manual. Okay, swing out by manual. But the new requirement coming forth 1st January 2009, this year. They allow the boat up to 700 kilo. 700 kg. The new rescue boat, they allow you to swing out by manual. But this one have to get exemption by flag. Flag have to agree. The flag have to agree for you to launching this way. They have to authorize to issue exemption certificate, then you can do that way. If not, you cannot. So with this requirement, process control in China, they not agree that before you launch, you need to lift up this one and you swing out. Not acceptable anymore in China now. So we propose this modification. This modification. This one take out. No more use this one. Use this one. Use this type. So this type, there are 3 bars. 1 bar here, 1 bar stand, and 1 here, and 1 here. 1 here, with the hinge here, with the pin here. So when you will launch the lifeboat, take out this pin. Remove this pin. After you remove this pin, this one can put down. Then you can swing out the boat without lifting up the boat. You get what I mean? This modification. So look into this. If you have the conventional rescue boat, you have this rescue boat, this type paddle, you may have to consider to modify to this type.
So how is about our banker PVTrans and Neptune? Recently acceptable or not?
I don't know the ship how it look like. I never see.
Anh tập này đặc biệt mà PSC nó bắt ra lọc quy định mới mà đó. Cái này số đạn mà toàn là này không?
Không,
Trung
này
Quốc
hạ
thôi.
bằng tay.
Cái này Trung Quốc thôi.
Này hạ bằng tay. Không có debit.
Thì tàu mình nó ba.
Tàu mình một debit.
Nhưng mà giờ nó quy định mới nó phải có một cái gì đó nâng lên bằng tay à, phải bằng tay.
Bằng tay.
Sao là cái nguồn xuyên qua là cái nguồn không phụ thuộc nguồn tàu.
Đúng rồi, cũng
Vâng,
bằng tay.
đây là giả sử như dự này đăng ký ấy, như vậy đăng ký
Rồi cái mình ra bao nhiêu ký?
của mình là nặng giống như Neptune vừa rồi là nặng khoảng 900 kg. Thì
con Synergy thì bao nhiêu?
Tức
là 3 con 13 ngàn.
Cái series
con
đó
xa hay là 4 con là điều loại này.
cái series đó là mình không sử dụng, mình hoàn toàn tắt điện rồi đúng không? Thì mình có mấy cái cây gió, cây dầu, đa cuốn chai dầu, chai đó tự hoạt động được thay bằng tay.
Tức là cái nguồn độc lập không?
Độc lập.
Cái nguồn này còn là nguồn độc lập không? Nguồn chính của tàu. Nhưng mà cái đó cho nó
cho sử dụng được nhiều lần.
có nghĩa là có 2 cái chai khí gió mấy mươi phút.
Nhưng mà nó yêu cầu bằng tay không nhỉ? So I mean if the rescue boat more heavier than the weight is more than 700 kilos.
Yes.
So on our tankers for example PVTrans is about 900 kilograms. So now we use the air pressure to split up and swing. Is that suitable to comply with the regulation or not?
You can lift up the boat from the position when you are inside the boat.
Yeah.
If you can, it's okay.
Because let's see the crane used by supplied by the air pressure.
It's okay. It's okay. The important thing that normally the what I see on the ship that normally you cannot lift up by that. They don't have function to lift up. They don't have function to lift up. They only have function to swing. They only have function to swing out by store energy, but they don't have function to lift up.
Yes. If the crane for the rescue boat can lift up and swing
it's okay.
Yeah.
It's acceptable.
Yeah, acceptable.
Yes, but if you cannot lift up, you have to go cranking to lift up before you swing out. That's not acceptable.
Lift up by hand.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Or you have to use some switch, not store energy. You know, store energy that when you have no electric power in the ship at all.
Yes, independent.
Independent, you can lift it up and then swing out. It's fine. But if you still need to do electric motor to lift up, no, not acceptable. Okay. So look into this. Look into this modification as an option for you. Okay. The other item, do you know this? This is release mechanism for the lifeboat, for the normal lifeboat release mechanism. I just explain you a little bit here. This is this diaphragm. This diaphragm is under the bottom of the ship, the lifeboat. Okay. When the lifeboats go down to the water, the pressure of the water will push in here, pushing this diaphragm. This diaphragm will push this rod up to the release. Unlock the interlock, unlock the lock of the handle. then you can release the boat. You can release the boat, the hook will open. But if this one not working, you need to override. You need to override the boat before you can release the boat. So this part is very important. Sometimes when the ship go to the dry dock or you send the boat to service, ask them to check this one for you. Sometimes the diaphragm is very old. Used for many times, the diaphragm is not good already. Sometimes it's not working properly. Okay? And then every time when you launch the live boat inside the water, when you bring up, make sure that somebody check this marking. Okay, this marking. This indicator must go to the green color, not in between like this or in red. If in between like this or in red, it means that the boat can drop anytime when you lift up the boat. This is very important. Process control in Australia, they always check this one when they inspect the ship. It should be like this. It should be in the lock position. What it means that when you lock position, that when you lift up the boat, the diaphragm will return back to the position. Because this diaphragm is come back and linked to connect to this part, connect to here, here. So when the diaphragm go back, then it pulls this one back, then it comes to the marking. So it means that the release hook is locked. It comes down, shifting in the position. If not come down, you see this one is not in the position, it has to go down more. This one in the middle, not locked. Look at this.
Rồi 2 tỷ.
Again, see again.
1 tỷ nha.
What happened? One more time. Remember, the lock not set properly. The boat is very easy to after that. Because this one not set properly, not in the position. It may be here, or maybe in the red color, so the boat not fit properly. When it lift up, it swing and it drop. After you see this video, as a captain, do you still want your crew to go inside and lift up together with the boat? So make sure that you are not allow any crew inside the boat when you lift up. After they check everything finished, you may put 4 preventive device. 4 preventive device or wire rope to hold this one. In case of the boat, the hook is open, you still have something to hold the boat in the position. Okay, then don't let any crew inside the boat when you lift up or lower. It can be happen like this. And then you imagine if it's like this. The guy inside how he couldn't have survived. No way.
No way.
No way. You see? You see the thing that, so let the crew climb up when everything set up finished, then come up by the embarkation ladder. Step first, don't come up with the boat, don't lazy. Even 1 or 2 meters also same, if job also injured. Yeah, you lift up a little bit, lift up a little bit, let the boat stable, then they can come up. That is more safety. Okay, so don't let the crew come up, lazy want to come up, still inside. It's very dangerous. Or you put 4 preventive device, PFD to hold the boat. And remember one thing, PFD for preventive device you can use only one half.
But I
One
think,
half.
but I read in the Sonata,
Yes.
which says that captain can remain some crew inside.
It's your decision. Your crew. I not say yes or no.
For enough control the map.
What control you want to do? You lift up the boat. What control you need?
It's not like that.
I mean that you lift up the boat to put in the position. What control you want inside?
The smarter can remain some crew inside what? For enough control.
Actually, in solar, they never care about the operation. This is the operation issue. Your decision is yours. You are the master. You are the decision, right? Your crew. I not say yes or no. But you see this video, I make it to you that you decide by yourself. Okay? Okay, the next one. Okay, life buoy. Life buoy is one of the items that we always see problem. It's very simple maintenance. How you maintain the life buoy? How you maintain the life buoy?
Check light.
Check the light.
Check the connector.
Check the light. What else?
Color of the light bulb.
Color of the light buoy.
The rope.
The rope. Why it happen like this? Why it happen like this?
The heat.
The heat, yes. You know that this one damage because of the heat. How to prevent it damage? You cannot keep
you
the,
can check every time. Maybe every month or every 2
you
months.
cannot put inside, you have to put in the position.
Maybe we turn.
So you have to turn it. Change the position to touch with the sunlight. You don't keep there some light buoy AC 1 year, stay there, never turn. But chip second mate, third mate, inspect, okay, every time. So every month or every week, when I do survey on a ship long time back, when I inspection light buoy, I will turn for them. I see finish, I will turn, and then I put back. I will never tell the crew that I do it for you.
That's when I do.
When I check, I will turn. You just turn it only. Check the position of the heat, touching to the heat. This picture taken by myself. I don't want to take this picture. You know, only this part damaged. The rest new. The rest is new, look new. Only here damaged. But you have no choice to change. You cannot leave it broken like that. Okay, so what you do is every month turn it.
Normally the name also and the bot with the.
It's not important. It's okay. Do not read the name. I ask you a question. You turn the ship name outside word. Who will go to ask you, hey, why you put the name of the ship like that? No way. We don't look at the ship name. The ship name we just see. Why we put the name of the name on the life buoy? They want to know that if the life buoy fall in the water belong to which vessel.
Yeah.
I'm sure that the life buoy on your ship, if it belongs to your ship, you not get from another ship to put. Right?
That is the purpose.
Yes. And then the other thing, why they check the weight? Why they check the weight of the life buoy?
Because two life buoy on the bridge.
Yes.
What is high grade?
The two pieces of the life buoy at the big wing with MOB is heavier than the other on the ship, right? It's heavier because of they have to, the weight, they use the weight of the life buoy to pull the MOB to drop in the water. That's why it's heavier. Do you think that all your crew on the ship know about this? They know this? Then if they know that, officer know, but bosun know, AV know or not? Yeah, AV not know.
You did a good in our training, the captain.
Yeah, the captain have a very good training. So the important thing that sometimes you, okay, second mate want to paint the life buoy. Okay, get the life buoy, take out only the life buoy, put here painting. Then second mate paint finish. Okay, bosun put back. Bosun won't know. heavy or light. The 4.3 kilo must be on the big wing. You don't have the different side, the same. 4.3 or 2.5 kilo is the same. It look in the buoy, you know. So you just put on the ship, then you don't know that the two pieces heavier is somewhere. Sometimes by inspection, I survey the ship, I go to the grid, I just hold. I told captain it's wrong way. And then captain said, I have to order the new one, 4.3 kilo. I said, no need to order, you go and find on the ship. It's on the ship, it's not going anywhere, go and find somewhere. After 1 hour, come back, oh, I put wrong place. Okay, so remember, you have two pieces of the light buoy that are the big wing. You may put the marking on the light buoy, MOB. Put some marking. This is for MOB only, so it not mix up with another. You can mark, nobody say anything to you. You put MOB, man overboard, for man overboard on the big wing. You put the ship name, put the flag, and then you put another side with MOB, 2 pieces. Okay? It's not mixed up. Alright? So remember, if you are in a safety officer, you are in a company, put in your procedure that the light will have to turn every week or every month up to you.
Yes.
Let them turn 90 degrees, 180 degrees or whatever, then you will keep the light will light longer. Nothing to do, only 2-second job, turn then go. Even captain, when you do the monthly inspection on the ship, you walk and you turn. Okay? Only water separator, look at the dependency. Any dependency related to oil water separator or code 30. Look at this. Or red code 30. So, important thing that the captain or the ship engineer have to understand how to read oil water separator very clear. And you should be able to show to the concept officer that how to operate the oil water separator. Alright? I don't go through the detail because it's nothing very special in the oil water separator. Oil water separator unable to work properly due to 50 wheel alarm active frequently. Maybe something wrong with the sensor or whatever. Alright? Or oil water separator continue to normal work after the sampling water supply line valve closed. Something wrong with the operation. So the ship may have to understand that how you operate the oil water separator, how you test it. Okay? This is one, and then one of the items that I would like to highlight here, the 15 ppm. 15 ppm record. Inside the 15 ppm, they have a timing, they have a date and time. You need to set the time correctly. Okay, sometimes when the ship go to a dry dock, or sometimes the battery inside, you have small battery to keep the clock is running. The battery expire, whatever. So the clock, the set time inside the oriented cylinder 15 ppm is wrong. You need to reset it, make it correct. Because when the post-state control officer come up to the ship, they will take out the record data from the 15 ppm. They will compare to the record book that it correct time or not. Okay, this is very important. We always overlook this item. Sometimes they take out data, they print out, and they check with oil record book. It's not matched. The time may be different time because you put the UTC time on the oil 15 ppm, but the ship time is local time. It doesn't matter, but they can take back. It's okay. Okay. This is more from the design. The must be on the vertical part of the pipe. Oil record book. We have one issue with the wetting inspector before that the oil record book need to sign by a ship engineer. Who is ship engineer here? Any ship engineer here? Do you need to sign oil record book every time? Is the requirement ship engineer to sign oil record book?
No. Only chief engineer who working he sign after chief engineer check. Sometimes code L bunkering chief engineer sign.
Okay.
After give captain sign. Not only chief engineer.
When the operation discharge the oily water from the ship pump out through oily water separator.
Yeah.
Is it required ship engineer to sign oil record book?
No. Who
operate the one who sign?
Yeah.
But ship engineer not required to sign.
Yeah. If chief engineer working, chief engineer sign.
Yes. If chief engineer not working, so no need to sign.
No. Always inspection. Sometimes chief engineer sign.
No, I don't understand now.
Oh, he's speaking that when we need the page, the chief engineer and captain
have to sign.
It's not me. He only sign when he do his.
Yes.
And at the end of it, captain sign.
Yes.
And who in charge of we sign?
Yes. Remember, if the process control and vetting inspector gives you evidence that your ship engineer not sign the record book, nowhere in MAPO say that ship engineer have to sign a record book. Okay? If ship engineer not the one who pump out the water or who record, ship engineer not required to sign a record book.
Yes.
No requirement say that. Okay? Engineer on watch who do the operation, that one have to sign. Chief engineer just to ensure that it's correct record only. The one who have full responsibility of oil record book is captain. You have to sign every page. If any problem, you are the one who get to trouble, not chief engineer.
Yes. First one.
You are the one who sign oil record book and the officer engineer on watch. Yeah, you sign. You are responsibility. Not chief engineer. Oil record book not chief engineer now because chief engineer not sign oil record book.
You sign every page.
Yes.
Không kia thuyền trưởng ký cái này. Thuyền trưởng ký.
No any requirement in MAPO say that chief engineer have to sign oil record book. Remember this. So captain, you have to make sure that the chief engineer do correct job before you sign.
Only check.
Yes, chief engineer only check only. If third engineer one who record, fourth engineer one who record, second engineer one record, chief engineer just okay, everything then captain sign. If something happen, they bring oil record book. The first person they will look for is engineering on watch and you, not chief engineer.
Only captain to
New formation captain.
So remember.
Only master responsible.
Yes, chief engineer floating now. I don't know. Okay, so must be very careful, right? So make sure that you have talked to the engineering on watch and chief engineer. Make sure that they not record correctly. Don't anytime just sign without checking. You may get yourself into trouble. Okay? Oil record book. How to entry oil record book. Mr. Hiệp, I will send you I have one requirement, MEPC requirement of how to record oil record book. I will send to you. MEPC, they have requirement, they have a guideline how to fill up. You have that?
I have, but I don't.
I send to you new one. Then you can send to all the ship. They can follow because they have many samples how to record oil record book. They have many samples inside how you record. Okay, it is very important. Okay, you keep that one. Okay, the next one. CBCNV plan.
Cái đầu kiện có ghi hết mà.
CBCNV plan. Remember, MAPO NX4, sewage treatment plant, no annual survey. No annual survey, so 5 years one time. 5 year inspection by surveyor one time. You have to take care of this by yourself. Other equipment like elevator, separator or other things, we have surveyor inspection every year. But this one 5 years one time. So make sure that you take care of it properly. This oil sewage treatment can become item that PSC look into it. Because recently there are many issues with this sewage treatment plant. Either not working, not function, because we don't pay attention much on this item, because even this one not working, not affect the operation of the ship, you can discharge direct to sea, right? You look at this pipe should be clear, right? Should be like this, you can see something moving, the sludge moving inside, but the crew paint it green, cannot see anything. This broken, the pipe broken, because inside the sewage treatment plant is very high corrosion, very high corrosion inside. Sometimes you see the case is very good, look new. Use hammer to knock, boom, go down, inside have hole. The side hit, become hole. Okay, so the corrosion is from inside out. So when the ship go to dry dock, if you want to keep this one properly, last longer, clean and paint from inside. Put epoxy paint properly, paint from inside. Outside paint is okay, inside paint is very important to keep this, maintenance this. Okay, painting, keep paint inside the internal. Then this item will not have big corrosion. Alright? And then the other item that you see, no flow to sludge return, visual pipe, this pipe, no flow because you are painting. Or the air pump. The important part of this sewage treatment plant is the air pump that you supply the air inside for the bacteria to survive. The pump is very small, the pressure is 0.2 bar. The pressure is very small. Sometimes the pump is working or not, sometimes shipping also not aware of that one because the pump too small and then the pressure is really low. So make sure that inspect frequently, make sure the pump is working properly. Okay. This is an insulator. I highlight this item. This one. The combustion chamber temperature of the insulator cannot be 600 degrees in 5 minutes after startup. Have you ever tasted this? After startup, the temperature must increase to 600 degrees in 5 minutes.
600 or 700?
600.
Why we see already require this?
No, 600. The requirement is 600. As per BBC, this one, 62640. You can go and see 2640. It's a 600. Note down this one. Go inside Google and search for this one. Then you keep this document on the ship. If PSC give you 700, show him this document. It's 600, not 700. Okay? It's 600, remember, not 700. This is another one. Same. 600 degrees within 5 minutes after startup. LVP 7640. Alright? The other one, the air inside the chamber of insulator not clean in time. So after your operation, the insulator finish, it cool down, you need to clean inside the chamber. You cannot leave the garbage, what you call it, the ash inside. After you burn finish, the remaining part you have to clean, make it clean.
And record in the carpet.
Yes. Make sure that you clean it. Right? Okay, water mist system. Do you have water mist on the ship? You have, right?
Yes.
Okay, so make sure that the water mist valve is open and put on auto function. Okay, and then the water mist, the freshwater tank, you have a marking of the water inside the freshwater tank must be this level. Make sure that officer on watch check every time that the water is in the level. Because engine room very hot, sometimes the water is evaporate out, the water level reduce. After 1 week, 2 weeks, the water lower than the level. Then process control keep you the on this item.
Sometimes they also ask,
yes.
Which can be new parts of
Yes, they will ask, sometimes you connect direct to the fresh water tank. You need to make sure that the water is enough for the water mix system.
But in case we connect it with the freshwater tanks, how to show that for the BCO that we comply with the.
You have to have a water marking. You have to know that the volume of the water that you operate within how many minutes, how many water capacity that you require.
We will show that even at that we monitor the
okay,
water.
the first thing you look at the oil, the manual, operation manual of that one. They will tell you when you operate the water mix system, 1 minute, 2 minutes, how many water capacity you require. Then from there you can calculate how many water that you need to keep remaining. Yeah. So in your fresh water tank you put a marking. The water should not lower than this. It should be this minimum.
Normally the member of the water use only keep up
yes, yes. That is depends on the tank capacity. Some tank is big, very lower. Yes, yes. Okay. This is very important. That make sure that you keep the capacity correct. All right, for the water mix. Quick closing valve also one of the items that always maintained by process control. Sometimes the item that the air cylinder for quick closing valve not under pressure. It means that the pressure for the air tank to operate quick closing valve, the pressure is not enough. Right? Sometimes 7 bar, that you lower than 7 bar, they're not enough to operate the quick closing valve. This is very important. Look at this. FO isolating valve for DG not comply with SOLAS. What's the meaning? The distance between generator and generator, FO supply line isolating valve. This controlled by local handle only. Local control position is too small, about 1 meter, cannot be meet the requirement. What the meaning of this one? That you have 3 generators on the ship.
Yes.
You have one common line supply the fuel oil to the engine, each engine, right?
Yes.
And then when the oil go to the engine, you have the valve to control the oil go to each engine.
Yeah, cutting valve like this.
Isolation valve.
Isolated valve.
So if the engine fire, suppose engine number 1 fire,
yes.
You can shut the valve.
Yes.
To not to supply the oil to the engine.
Yes. The 2 engines you can run it with a separate valve. This valve is too close to the engine. When the engine is fire, you can't go too close. You can't go too close the valve. Yes. So how is the requirement?
Okay, look at the requirement. You see, they should measure. No? They use the tape to measure how long the distance from the valve. This is the valve. How far? Okay, the requirement is 5 meter. 5 meter from the engine to the valve. 5 meter. So if you cannot, sometimes your ship is not that big, engine room small, so you cannot have 5 meter from the engine to the valve. They allow you to have smaller, but you have to have a protection. You can have a protection to the valve. It means that if the engine fire, somebody can go to the valve and close the valve. Some protection for the heat.
Yes.
Okay? Look into this. If your ship not comply, then when the ship go to dock or whatever, you can prepare something. Make sure that you comply. The protection just maybe steel bar, one steel plate, and the valve to protect, then the people can go close it. Do some modification. Okay? Clear, this item clear?
Clear.
Okay. The next one is this one is
fire protection, insulation for prevent the heat or whatever. Normally insulation, you have to have extension 450. Like for example, this room is need to protect. The next room is the room with generator engine inside. This wall is A60 wall. You put the insulation from below up to here. You need to have another extension 450 from here to here. So the heat cannot come from the top, come inside here. So the heat will protect stop to here. This why before, you see, this pipe, it just bare steel. After rectify, they put 450 from here to here. They put insulation more 450 to prevent the heat transfer. Okay?
Yes.
And then the other item, this is not cement, as what I was standing before. Sometimes they put cement. This is MCT. MCT, they call it MCT. This one MCT, the one who put this have to have certificate, certified bond maker. This MCT, this the whole like this. To put the seal, this one, they have to have certificate from the maker. Okay.
Can with cái gì đó mà được cho phép rồi.
Nó giống như form.
We can fit silicone.
No,
Quan trọng là đều
not silicone.
không đâu có được để tự do phải đắp.
Đất nhưng mà nó giống như form chứ không phải xi măng.
Không thì
Không, Linh luôn mà hỏi là cái chất gì.
They call multi cable compound. This one is a compound, it's special compound. It's not a silicone, it's not a cement. Yes, when the ship new building, when they fill up this one, the guy who comes to this one, they have certificate, certified certificate. I tell you one story. One of the very big container ship, they have a sharp tunnel very long, sharp tunnel, engine room, and then they have sharp tunnel, go to the tail shaft. So between engine room and sharp tunnel, they have water tidal with the cable passing through with MCT like this. And one day the ship hit something, popular hit something, the shaft leaking, shaft seal leaking, the water come inside the shaft tunnel, flood the shaft tunnel, flood inside the shaft tunnel. Then the MCT during the new building not properly fixed, the shipyard just get somebody to put by themselves. This one have to able to stand the pressure. If you are underwater part, this one has to be watertight and able to stand the pressure also. On that container ship, this one not properly fit. The water from the other side push this one out. This one drop off. The water come in engine room, flood the whole engine room. You see, very simple thing, but then you can create a lot of problem. So make sure next time when you do some cable, you want to put the cable passing through this one, not anyhow go and do. After you make a new hole and then put the cable through, put the proper seal. Don't disturb this one. If you disturb this one, you have to get somebody to fill up for you. Okay? This is they call MCT. Five doors. This one is from this side. This side is a 10 gear room. The other side is engine room. So the crew sometimes don't want to open this door every time. Or when you hot engine room, they open the door and put the rope to tie it. Or they call hold back. They open the door and keep the rope to hold the door. Keep open.
Also way to do this.
Always do like this. Yes. This is dependency. Fire door have to keep closed all the time. Fire door have to keep closed. Hostess control keep dependency to this one. It's only very simple. Cut the rope, take out the rope, then close the door. They don't look at the same what we think. They look at the system, the procedure. They look at the ship engineer not understand the requirement.
Yes.
You don't understand the requirement why, that's why you keep the door open.
The root cause is a big problem.
Yes,
Currently it's very easy.
Collection very easy.
Yeah. The root cause big problem.
Yes. As per if you are in charge of safety HQE in the company, you have to rewrite the procedure, training the crew on the ship to make sure they understand this requirement. It's not just cut the rope, close the door, finish. Okay? So these are not allowed on the fire door. During the ship at sea, what you going to do, I don't want to say. You can do whatever you want, but when the ship in port, you have to make sure that it's compliant with the regulation.
Yes.
Right? Galley door. Galley door is another one.
So the small window.
Yes. Galley small window, opening for serve the food, that's another one. Engine room door to steering gear room, another door. Sometimes the door go out from connect between the compartment. Keep open like this. No, not allowed. Okay? Fire detection system. Look at this. Look at this. The blue color. The distance between two smoke detectors in upper deck of accommodation space exceeds 11 meters. One smoke detector here, one here. The distance should not be more than 11 meters as per the SOLAS requirement.
Not more than
11 meters. Okay? This happened by process control inspection of the ship.
smoke.
Yes. We investigate and we found out what happened. That one smoke detector here. Below there are some equipment. Always keep heat. Always keep alarm this one. Electrician very smart. You will give the alarm and move you somewhere else. He modified by himself. He take all this gas detector, smoke detector. He moved away from the location without knowing the requirement. The requirement that one smoke detector to another one have not more than 11 meters. But the electrician he moved a smoke detector by himself to somewhere else. More than 11 meters. So
Not for example,
11 meters.
Yes, yeah. Now, how many detector apply now installed in the ship?
It depends on how big the ship.
How before they are smoke and heat detector.
Yes. No, smoke, heat. Heat we install somewhere. Heat we in the galley in somewhere. But smoke is the main thing.
Every room.
Yeah, the heat normally in the galley we have heat.
Only galley requires the heat.
Yes. But heat they will not consider. They will not put into consider 11 meter heat.
Yes.
Okay, heat they will put in some certain area for high risk the heat.
Only galley
okay. I ask you a question, Captain, that when it burn, which one comes first? Smoke comes first, right? Smoke comes first, so they want to detect early. If it heat already burn, then the whole compartment already burn.
Too late.
Too late, yeah, too late. The smoke is more important than heat.
Yeah.
That's why they want to make sure that the smoke detector is there. I'm not sure this smoke detector, you have another one 11 meter if you so combine with SOLAS.
Ủa xây dựng.
Bắt cái này đây là chị bà ơi.
So I have one question. Also, there's so many smoke detector on board.
Yes.
So is there any regulation so that the officer check, the third officer, the check on the ground? How the fears?
Okay, the inspection of the smoke detector, how it's working, you can, because when we do the new building, when we build the new ship, we will test 100%.
Yes.
After 100% test, subsequent testing will randomly only. We will not do 100%. 100% take long time.
Yes.
1-2 days, not finish. We will not randomly test maybe few of them, 5-6 pieces, 2 or 3 pieces.
So how long for one route?
They have no requirement. It's up to your procedure. Up to your procedure. You can test monthly. I think monthly should be reasonable.
Yeah.
When you test, when you test this kind of smoke detector, you should know the loop. The loop. They have a loop. The loop.
Yes.
One set there, one loop. You test each loop one time should be enough. Yeah, one loop, one piece enough. No need to test one loop, 2, 3 pieces. Okay, one loop, one piece should be good enough to test the system. One loop is working. All right. Fire control pan. You have 2 fire control pan at the chip side, right?
Yeah.
Why you have the fire control pan at the chip side? What is the reason?
When the fire, when there is a fire, it's easy to take the fire plan to saw to another supporting plan from another source.
Yes, the fire control pan at the ship side, you have 2 pieces or sometimes you bring to the gangway. In case of fire, the rescue team or somebody from shore, they come up to the ship. They're not familiar with the ship like you. So the fire control pan will help them. You tell them where internal shore connection, where the fire extinguisher. They know exactly from the pan. They go directly to the place. So I always see the issue that you have internal shore connection run. Every time you put, you put somewhere.
Yes.
You put in some locker. When you put in locker, you never update the fire control pan. Process control, they open the fire control pan. Your international shore connection in this location, show me. They go to the location where you keep somewhere else. You keep in the store. So now they're asking you where your internal shore connection. You put somewhere else. So if you want to move the location, the internal connection, you have to update the fire control plan also. You are allowed to update the fire control plan. Okay? So you can move. Want to keep this one in somewhere inside the ship, not outside. You have to update your fire control plan where you keep. So when the rescue team or the support team, they come up, they know exactly where you keep your internal shore connection.
We often update inside and control plan and release.
Yes.
Routing and
Nó đang nói cái bằng quốc tế, nhưng mà để sai vị trí cái kia phải
The
sửa lại cho nó để
other,
chúng ta
the
biết
police
được.
or this one is not important. We are concerned more fire control plan.
Yeah.
This is the requirement. Okay. So when you update, you ask surveyor to endorse for you.
Hai cái bị lỗi.
All right. So clear. Fire control plan you have to keep update. Usually the location of the international connection where you keep.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Our new tanker PVT Neptune.
Yes.
The general arrangement for fighting equipment and life saving.
Yes.
The plan, I mean the plan. This is the black and white color.
Yes.
Not the color. It's not the color one.
Yes.
So is it easy with the PSC or metal inspection?
It's very difficult. Do you have the original one on the ship with the color?
No, we don't have. On the black and white color.
But
And certified by class.
I would suggest that maybe you bring down to that one and make. You just put the symbol only. No need to change the other one. Only change the symbol.
Symbol we can
Change the symbol only. Modify the symbol. After you modify the symbol with the color, then you print out. You keep that original, then you print out another one.
Bởi vì 50-50 rồi nó có bắt là chết rồi.
Only modify the symbol. No need to change the whole pen.
bắt là
Những cái 50-50 thì có cái đầu bắt nữa đấy.
Yes. Understand.
Nhưng mà Neptune còn là bản trắng đen.
Trắng đen nó bắt làm lại như xưa nhân cũ nó bắt làm lại.
Because they require you to have the symbol with the
Nhân là một photo các bạn lấy về gửi về đây xong ở đây làm lại.
Những cái symbol chẳng hạn như cái drone plan là màu
mang về vẽ lại thì
kia là màu
mang về vẽ lại thì bản màu xong đưa cho VA
Việt Nam cũng không chấp nhận là bản.
I think you can buy the sticker.
Mà cả không luôn.
You can buy the sticker with the symbol to paste it. I think they have.
We put the sticker directly to the
The brand, yes, you put the sticker.
Yêu nói là dán cho nó lên một photo.
Then photo
scan lại.
yes, yes.
Vì là mình khỏi phải vẽ lại. Mình dán sticker màu lên để chụp lại easy way.
You need to make the whole pen. You bring down the pen that you have.
Yes.
Then you put the sticker on the symbol.
Yes. And make color.
Then make a
follow.
scan copy.
Yeah.
Then put on the chip. When the surveyor comes to the ship, ask him to endorse for you that certified full copy, then put on the chip.
Okay, understood.
Okay.
Easy way here.
Right?
Thank you.
Bảo tàu chung gửi về. Thôi mình in file
Cách chụp là nó sẽ méo mó ra một đúng kích thước. Rồi lên scan là ra cái khoảng hay không? Scan mới nét được.
Vẽ lại cái đó có mấy triệu chứ, cao lắm rồi mấy triệu. Ngày xưa Long vẽ lại có mấy triệu, 7 triệu.
When you have scan copy of the ship, you ask the surveyor to stamp and then log it.
Các bạn không. Có tạo ra kiểm gì?
Important thing that you can do it here. Bring to my office, I stamp for you on that side. Oh, easy.
Chắc phải lấy một tàu để gắn ngay cho toàn bảo ông cầm về chưa một tàu. Nếu mà cầm về thì thiếu cái tàu chắc nào cũng làm đủ.
So the original one with ABS stamp from beginning, you keep on the ship as a master copy. You don't touch that one. You don't touch that one. You can keep in somewhere for reference. If person officer they want to see, you can show him this is approved by ABS. This is a copy. This is exactly the same. Right? Exactly the same. Nothing wrong. They can use. You can have the original. Make sure the captain know where the original on the ship. You can put in the frame, put in the captain cabin was okay. Then you will not go anywhere. Right? Okay. This is another issue. Fire hose. Fire hose in engine room over 15 meters. This is the same case with the light bulb. Sometimes you bring out the fire hose from the engine room and deck, put all together and do the testing or something like that. After finish, put back in engine room. You may put wrong. The deck put in the engine room. The engine room put on the deck. Engine room fire hose it should not more than 15 meters, right? So sometimes the crew not aware. They put, or you get the wrong one. You cut and then you don't. The marking on the hose still the same. 20 meters. Right? Then you put it in the engine room and when process control they check, hey, why you use 20 meters, but never make sure 20 meters or 15 meters. Okay, make sure that you are aware of this requirement.
Liệu là cắt dưới 15 rồi nhưng mà vẫn trên ống vẫn đề 20 thì nó bắt.
Or sometimes the hose don't have marking like this on the hose. You don't go and mark by a pen or whatever by yourself. Don't pencil. You can put the marking on the pen there. By the color also can. Put some tape color. Blue color for the deck, green color for the engine room, something like that, make it different. 15 meters, 20 meters. Make sure you make a measurement. 20 meters must be 20 meters, 21 meters. Okay?
But if the brings the letter on the
if from the maker, it's okay. If from the maker, then print this one, it's okay. But you don't go and paint by yourself.
But if I use the 20 meter cutting for make the new one,
okay.
How to mark on?
You don't mark on the hose. Don't
because if PSC come on board, she saw the 20 meter on the pipe.
Then you take all the pipe and you make sure show him.
Okay. That's now be the vendor, huh?
Yes. Okay. If they ask you why you use 20 meters, then you show him this is 15 meters.
Okay. Cannot the painting change.
Yes, don't paint. Okay. Okay.
Reconditioning.
Okay. This item very important. Really interesting. You may have problem with process control in Indonesia. When you have the light. Okay. This also the fire damper cannot close properly or whatever. Alright? After this training you will know how to talk to the process control.
cái này là cái thằng scenery cứ làm trơn một thời gian rồi này.
There are many file number, there are many type of file number. This one on the funnel, this one for
Cái
engine
của nó
room.
không chân tru,
Okay.
lượng gió nó yếu, nó bị méo.
Cái lỗ thông gió.
Look at this.
Buồng lái.
Xe tân cũng bị méo.
Not fully closed.
Can accept this?
Oh no, one moment.
Can
It's
accept?
okay. No. I still have holes. Can see light. I still have the holes. You can see the light.
Yes. If process control officer give you can see them.
Cái lỗ sáng này.
How captain, how you to do?
Cái lỗ sáng là đâu?
Lỗ sáng gần đâu ý chị?
Lỗ sáng bên hai bên đấy vậy.
Lỗ tròn xe này.
Ở bên đấy có cái mép
cắt ra hàng luôn, hàng
Cái sáng này là đèn pin không soi vào.
How what's in the
First light.
That's lại cái đường nghe.
First light, this one first light. Superior first light.
First light from.
Superior.
Nó không cái gì.
We can see the light.
Yeah, the light here. You look at the light here.
Không anh lỗ sáng rồi.
Okay.
Lỗ sáng nó là bằng.
How many people say this one can accept? Can accept or not? Can accept?
Yes.
This one, the light here. Can accept? How many people say cannot accept?
I accept.
You accept?
I accept.
Not accept. Not accept.
Not accept. Okay. I have to make you have same idea, same thinking. Look at the requirement. So last chapter 2, 5.2.2.1, mean of control are to be provided for closure of the opening in the funnel, which normally allow exhaust ventilation and closure of ventilation damper. There are no requirement for the damper located in the engine room funnel to be of the gas type or water type. No requirement. No requirement.
Yeah.
Normally, these dampers are located higher than 2.3 meter above position 2, and accordingly, they are not required to be watertight in accordance with the load line requirement. So immediately, the funnel is really high.
Yeah.
The water will never go up to there.
Yeah.
So you need to have watertight.
But not. Listen first.
Okay. So the water cannot go up to there. If the water can go up to that funnel, the water can go inside anywhere already on the ship. Okay. Look at this explanation. The funnel flaps are not for forced ventilation. They are a natural means of exhaust. Okay. Once they are closed and they are ventilation shut down.
Yeah.
There is no airflow. No pressure differential across the damper. And if CO2 is released into the machinery space, it flows to the lower level, being heavier than air. Construction and tolerance do not present any problem. So meaning the gap between the damper, no any issue. You see the light, nothing. When you release CO2 to the engine room, you shut down all the supply fan, exhaust fan in the engine room. So in the engine room, no air pressure. When you release CO2 go down to the bottom. CO2 never go up to the top. Never release out. So the gap of the damper is no problem. No any issue.
I get one observation from working person.
Yes.
And one by PSC in lake of bamboo delineate.
Yes.
Not close.
Now if they give you the dimension, you ask them where the requirement. In Solar never say. Nowhere say that you cannot have the gap. Okay. Look at hot Coast Guard, US Coast Guard. US Coast Guard give you maximum 3 mm gap allowance. You cannot 3 mm.
3 mm cơ mà.
Yes.
Cái sáng là quá thì
this US Coast Guard 3 mm gap one side.
Của mình nhỏ hơn mà có sửa.
Mình có một ly.
Cái cửa bây giờ là ngon, cửa giờ nó soi tiêu chuẩn như thế này.
Cửa scenery nó đóng đã.
Không cho phép hỏi 30 phân. Scenery bởi bé tình của em nó Không, nhưng mà theo cái quan điểm của mình từ trước đây là cứ có ánh sáng lọt qua là mình đeo.
Thì đấy ý là sai đấy. Ý là
Vậy
sai.
là
Ý là
nó
đâu
nhập nhằng
muốn là
với
đâu
cái
liên quan
kiểu
đến vấn đề là mình không hiểu vấn đề, bây giờ ông giải thích cho.
Mày đưa ra quy định nào mà
Đấy chính xác.
So
Bởi vì là cái việc đấy nó không phải.
understand, huh? So this one no problem. Can accept.
Yeah.
Can accept.
Yes.
Can accept. Okay, even bigger than this also still no problem.
Yeah.
Alright? CO2 will never go out.
Yeah.
Okay? Understand, huh? So this come after this.
Yeah.
Process control inspector or vetting inspector give you redundancy, you should able to challenge yourself, defend yourself, ask them.
But you argue with the PSC when we have big other problem.
You don't argue during inspection.
Yeah.
Let him inspection finish, he give you the summary.
Yeah.
I have 5 redundancy for you, then that time you fighting with him.
Ah.
You cannot go back to inspect again the ship. You
Yeah.
already give me 5 redundancy. Finish inspection already.
Okay. Yeah.
Then that time you talk to him. You don't fighting with him during the inspection.
Yeah.
Okay?
chiến lược phải tình đây sẽ trên đường đèo. Chốt cái đầu
During the inspection, is that all? This one not accept. You don't say anything. Let me finish inspection first. Yes. You don't argue with him during the inspection.
Yeah.
Make him not happy, then he will inspect more.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Let him finish everything. You ask him.
Yeah.
Are you finished inspection? Yes. Okay. Come to my cabin. Then now discuss. Then now you discuss with him.
Sắt 4 4 sắt 6 là vuông á. Cái cửa nó đóng này đúng không? Cái cửa này
Chờ nhà nó đi về thì ăn gì không nước đèo
trước buổi chợ luôn bắt nam.
Okay. Look at this picture.
Hàng cái đầu sắt kia ở trong sơn
If the gap here, if the gap here, I don't see any problem. But if you have the gap between the blade, then you have problem.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
If the blade cannot close properly, then process control gap can give you redundancy.
Yeah.
It means that the damper is not properly closed.
Yes.
If you have a gap like this, if you close, it's okay.
Yes.
Like this picture is acceptable. But if you like this, have wet air, then no.
Yeah.
It means that the operation is not good. Alright? Okay, clear, huh? You really understand, huh?
Can 3 millimeter.
Yes. Take the picture. Give this requirement. Remember this requirement. So have no requirement. Never say.
Yeah.
If the inspector say that this is his coaster, he refer to solar. You ask him where the solar stay that you turn back up.
Yeah.
He cannot think by himself. He cannot say that, oh, solar stay, where solar stay. I didn't say solar, no requirement.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The interpretation is very clear. Okay, the next item, light shape, sound signal.
Yeah. Signal. Sound signal.
So, I have one item that would like to highlight here. Okay, sometimes this cover,
Yeah.
you don't have the color cover. I see many times you don't have red. You get the white color and you can with red. You get the green color, you can with green.
Yeah.
This is not acceptable.
Not the same.
No,
Yeah.
cannot. Because this cover, this requirement that you should able to see from this stand.
They have a requirement that illumination of this one you can see from far distance. But if you paint it, you will not meet that requirement. You will not meet that requirement. You can see the color when you stand here. You can see it's green. Yeah. But when far away, you may not be able to see the color. So not acceptable. Make sure that you get the correct color with the color. Okay. And sometimes this Christmas tree, it's really near to funnel. Exhaust gas from the funnel come and cover this one all black. Okay, cannot see. So make sure electrician inspect and clean the cover regularly. All right. And then this also another one. Another one. I see one chip. You know, at the chip side, here the chip side, you put here. This one damaged. They replace a new one. They never tell you what the size. Then the company supply this one very small, smaller size, small diameter. When they put here, from in front cannot see because it's tower too small. So make sure that you supply the same size. All right. And then the other one. This one. What about side light inboard screen, not matte back? What the meaning matte back?
Must be in black.
Matte back. Matte back is like this back. You put the light, it will not reflect.
Yes.
Okay.
Must be black.
Must be matte back. So this part, when you paint black, you should not use the normal paint on the ship that black color that you paint. Because black color, sometimes this one will reflect from here. Then everything will be mistaken. It should be painted with matte black. Matte black means that when you put the light here, it not reflect out. It absorbs the light. But if you put like this, you see, there is reflect. When you put the light, you can see the light reflect out. They don't want to have reflector reflect from the casing. Yes. Right. Remember, this one very important.
Nó không được phản chiếu.
Okay. Clear this one. Which one is correct? This one third line. Third line. This one. This one and this one. This one correct. This one correct? This one correct?
Yeah.
How many degree for the third line?
135.
135 degree. This one more than?
Yeah.
More than 135 degree.
I think 180.
Maybe more than that. Maybe 225.
225.
Maybe 225. So make sure that.
Cái góc chiếu, tức là cái kính này, cái góc của nó lớn quá.
So when you make supply this kind of light to the ship, make sure that ask the captain or ask shipmate that this light for which location, for what aft, side, or whatever. Make sure that you ask them. Then you supply correct light. Okay. Sometimes supply wrong light to the ship. Then we have a marking. They will put here turn light or whatever they will have a name. Okay. Shallow compass, magnetic compass. This one is not, I don't know, this one is not, it becomes PVTrans. Normally, magnetic compass is a bubble inside. Okay, so if you have very small bubble, like 1 centimeter diameter, should be okay. Small. Because sometimes you use water, right? Water and alcohol inside. Sometimes hot, it can expand, so they allow you to have a small bubble, but not 100% full. Okay, but if other liquid, maybe no, must be no bubble. And then the important thing that the holding position, when you stand at the holding position, look at the magnetic compass, you should be able to read the magnetic compass clear. That's the important thing. They're talking about the compass from the line board.
So how is the spare one? The spare one for the standard compass? you keep it upside down in the locker, right? Upside down, or in the normal mode?
I think just normal one should be okay.
Yes. Okay, in the VQ, they put the stem one upside down.
Yes. No, why they put upside down? Because the ball normally is like this.
Nó dễ đẻ hơn.
Normally the ball is not flat. It's curving. So it's curving. Easy to put the flat surface. Yes, and so sometimes the ball below is no ball. So you turn where the liquid can escape from the case. Okay.
Cái spare rồi put upside down nha các. Để nó mặt xuống.
Yeah, put upside down is okay.
Một lái. Cái mà cho
sometimes inside the box there is support. They put it come to the maker give you the box and put properly. Important thing is all these have to be synchronized. You have indicator in the bit outside the bit wing. Also sometimes you have bow thruster control, you have other location. Make sure all synchronize same reading. That's important thing, right? Chart, I don't want to go through the chart and they have no chart, no chart available for the next 4 years or something like that. This is very common. You know that when we go where, then we have to prepare the chart properly. Just now you see the video. This one is wrong connection. Right in the video. From here, this one is correct. This one correct. This one correct. Wrong. This one? Wrong. This one? This one correct? This one? No connection. Right? This is the weak link.
Yes.
This is the weak link. Why they call weak link? Why they call this color weak link?
Because when was it going to be replaced when the ship?
The weak link is mean that they design this weak link. When they design this one, they test it. They test to pull it, and then it break in certain pressure.
Yes.
So when the ship sink, the valve will open. After the valve open, all the mechanism is working. In fact, the valve. So the big ship will bring down the valve together, and the valve in front with the pressure of the painter. Painter connect to here. The painter will go up to the light up. When the ship go down certain depth, this one cannot take pressure anymore. It will break. After break, the valve will go up to the surface. The valve will go up to the surface.
This is now this number 2 correct?
No. No. Big ring is here. Big ring is red color.
Red color.
Yes. Not this one. This one not big ring. This one may not break, you know. This one may not break. If not break, if you go down to the ship, then the valve will come up. And then when the ship sinks to a certain level, if this one not break, the valve will broken because of the water pressure. So must be followed. You see instruction, they give you very clear how to connect.
Yeah.
Follow the instruction. Alright? And then one of the things that please pay attention that when you put the painter, I would suggest that you put outside the cradle. Don't come inside here. Don't come inside here.
Outside.
Why? Because you have chicken here. Sometimes chicken comes stuck here.
Yes.
Sometimes the chicken comes stuck in the cradle, don't come up, then you lose the valve. Okay? And why the reason that they have to have painter, why they want the valve to go down in the ship together with the ship? Because they don't want the valve to go away. When you abandon ship, the crew will stay around the vessel. When the ship sinks, right, you go away, but you will be around here. The valve will go down, and then the valve will come up in between all of you, then you can come to the ship. If they release the boat, the valve earlier, then the valve will float somewhere, then you cannot get the valve, right? Okay, and then the next one is pilot ladder. Later I show you some picture, some video about this one. This short, few second video.
So make sure that you check the gangway, mark the load, how many people can go up. The load of the gangway up to your company to decide. You can decide that how many people, how many kilo that you want to test. No any specific requirement that you have to test 1 ton, 2 ton, 3 ton or whatever. But you can decide that you want 6 people, 3 people, 4 people, up to you. Do the test during the ship in the yard, make a target class issue certificate, keep on the ship. Okay, and then you have to make a marking when you test what is the load. Alright? Okay, look at this. Amago Canis. This was happened in 1978, 18 March. I tell you the story. This ship, they have sailing gear failure. Sailing gear failure, cannot control from the bridge. And then large sea in Watery Bay in France. So the ship rolling. When the ship rolling, the oil, hydraulic oil inside the sailing gear coming out in the sailing gear loop. Or sailing gear loop full with oil. Then the engine crew want to go to the emergency sailing gear. Nobody can go to the emergency sailing gear because the floor slippery. The floor slip, nobody can reach the emergency sailing gear. So finally the ship ran aground. The ship grounding and break into 2 pieces. After this incident happened, so IMO come up with a requirement. Sailing gear room have to have walkway with non-slip surface. Non-slip surface with the handrail. With the handrail that the people can hold and walk to the sailing gear. Okay, this is the requirement behind. So, can this accept? No, because you don't have handrail, right? You don't have handrail. This can accept?
Yes.
The wooden can accept. Wooden can accept.
It's good.
But make sure that the wooden it must be
Not move.
not move.
Yeah.
Not move. It should be have something to hold it.
Yeah.
And then you should have handrail like this for the people to hold and go to the steering gear.
Yeah.
Alright? Okay?
Yeah.
So you have this requirement, right? I see sometimes sailing gear room, you put so many things inside.
Yeah.
A lot, it becomes storeroom.
Store.
Becomes storeroom. You have many loose items.
Yeah.
Make sure that you secure it properly. You want to put the drum, you tie it properly. Not mean that when the ship rolling, the drum all run everywhere. Ship damage the thing. Okay? So make sure that check this steering gear, the walkway with the marking. This one is non-slip surface. Other part no need non-slip surface can acceptable, but only this walkway must be non-slip surface. Yeah. Alright? This handrail and rope and the handrail, this one have to be fixed. You cannot take out.
If no handrail, you must non-slip surface.
No.
Both.
Both have to be together.
Both together.
Yes. Yes. Alright?
Yeah.
So inspection the ship, make sure that you comply with the requirement. Road line mark. Like this, you see, cannot see. Like this, not very good. You should be like this. Okay, must be paid and with the contrast color. Can see clearly. Alright? Like this, how you know which road line you use? You have 2 road lines. Both pane. Cannot, you have to use one.
Yeah.
Only one. But
One
cannot-
road line action.
Yes, but you cannot put, you see, they have 2 road lines.
Yeah. I think maybe the wrong.
That's wrong.
Mistake.
Yeah, wrong. You have to take out one, keep one.
Keep one only active.
Very active one, yes.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
International submission. This item very simple, but many mistakes. Sometimes the ship used in China.
Nhưng mà bây giờ đang nhìn nhận này, cái mặt bên quốc tế này, đi tìm mãi mới ra được một cái để
Sometimes the ship used in China, you order the international of Korea.
không
Cannot fit.
kích thước không vừa. Kích thước toàn nhỏ hơn như đấy.
Yes.
Dạ.
Okay, with this picture, which side you connect to the ship? This side or this side?
The right side.
This side, right?
Yeah, the right side.
This side you connect to the ship.
Yes.
So if you supply the new fire hydrant to the ship, make sure when you receive the fire hydrant, you test with your internal connection. Bring out internal and test that you can connect. Because sometimes different maker, different bar from some different location, from different country, you may not be able to connect it. Maybe slightly small, you cannot put in already. Okay?
So, I mean, how many pieces we complete one? Two bolt, and one spanner, and one gas, and one international connection.
You need one piece, 4 bolts,
one
gasket, one panel, enough.
Yes, that is complete.
Yes. You look at this requirement in LCA code, they have mentioned very clear. And then the bolt like this can accept or not?
No, cannot run.
The bolt, this bolt,
It breeze.
can be accept? Why? Huh? Plastic. This one? Plastic. This one? Okay. I say this one may not okay. Not okay.
No rush, no rush.
Why I ask you? Too long.
Too long.
Yes. The requirement only 50 mm. 50 mm from here to here, 50 mm. Because when you connect internal connection, they want you to connect as quick as possible. Not take some to turn in 50 mm only. 50 mm. There they have requirement 50 mm. 4 50 mm here.
Long dài.
50.
50 30 30
50 50 4 pieces 50. Okay. Also, like I said, sometimes when you do the drill, both drill file, you take out this and get the crew, then they understand.
Some missing.
Yes, yes. Check carefully that this can connect to all the fire that on the ship. The bolt and nut can move. Pana is there, gasket is okay. That is good enough already.
Is this not allow rubber?
Not Teflon. I don't think that they have any requirement.
Because last time in the career in Singapore, they said that not allow use.
I think they use the gasket and hard one. It can be leaking. Sometimes the pressure too high, it can come out.
Not about leaking and pressure, about the
fire.
The
fire. Okay? Okay, I understand this one. Huh? Important thing, in fire control plan, you should put really exactly where the location of this one, this item.
Yes.
Alright? This one, standard discharge connection. Standard discharge connection for the manhole, for the oil and sewage. Alright? This one, if mistake, you cannot do anything with change the French. Sometimes the French is wrong from the shipyard. Make sure that you look at the regulation, how big the French, what is the size, how thick. Alright? What I always see, this one, the valve is still, this valve cannot open because they wouldn't open long time. Alright? Personnel equipment for safety. Look at the X with the handle not provide with high voltage insulation. So the X must be, the handle must be with high voltage insulation. Okay, cannot use anyhow, use the X. Cannot buy the normal X from outside. It should be with the requirement. High voltage, okay?
How does the inspector know that? They saw that they look at something else.
I don't think so. I think maybe they pick up maybe the handle, maybe they just supply it normal. Yes.
Iron.
Yes, maybe I don't know whatever. Can be happen. We don't know. Right? This is the requirement, right? You have to supply the walkie-talkie for the firefighting team. Okay. CO2, fixed CO2.
fix CO2. This picture taken after the during the ship in service, during the ship in operation. What wrong with this picture?
This one.
CO2 bottle. What wrong with this picture?
The block bin, right? Block bin still
The
in
pin.
position.
The pin still in the position.
Yes. So cannot
This
remote control.
1, 2, 3, 4. This picture, the pin is still in the position.
Yes.
This is big mistake.
It's a
Cannot wrong. Do the remote control.
Wrong. This one also the pin. How this one working? The CO2 will come here. The pilot CO2 will come here. Pushing this one up. Pushing this one. This one have a small pin inside. Push this one up. After this one up, you open the CO2 from here. Then CO2 come out to the manifold. Yeah. If the pin in the position, this one can open. This one. This one can move open. So this one can open and the CO2 cannot release. The pin must be moved. This one normally they put the pin when the service company comes to do service. They put the pin in just prevent accident, release CO2 to engine room. So they put the pin. After they finish, they will take out for you. So the crew also not aware.
After this, what you remove?
The pin have to remove.
Yes, this one. The tube is connect. The tube, the pipe is connect.
The pipe still connects okay, but the pin have to be taken out. Cannot put there.
Cannot do that.
Yes. And many times I inspection the ship. This one not tied properly. This one. Not tied properly here or either here or the manifold on the bottle itself. Sometimes they weight the bottle. They weight the bottle. So they remove. After they put back, they just turn by hand. They never use the spanner to tie it. So make sure that you pay so much money to the company to service for you. Get some crew to follow them, check what are they doing. After you finish, check that they tie it properly for you. I can tell you with this pressure inside the bottle, with the CO2 pressure inside, if ship captain go inside and release this CO2 and then this pipe is not connect properly, you will never come out from the CO2 room. Never cannot go home. Cannot walk home by yourself.
Will take care of you.
Yeah, you have to lie down, go home. Take care of yourself, okay? This is very important. You breathe, if you breathe CO2 inside the nose, from here to here, how far? Less than 1 meter. 3 seconds, you knock down already. 1 minute only, you finish. With this pressure. Okay, so make sure you take care of yourself. When the company comes service, make sure that they tie this one for you properly. And then the new requirement that you have to change the manifold every 10 years. Every 10 years you have to change this manifold. When you change the manifold, then you have to keep the record properly when you change for inspection. Okay? Every 10 years. Yes. This another you can see.
Không học cũng phải thay.
Okay.
10 năm cứ 10 năm.
Nó in trên đấy.
Look at this sounding pipe. This kind of sounding pipe you will see only in engine room, right? For the oil tank in engine room, fuel oil tank or lube oil tank in engine room. This type of the sounding pipe with a quick closing. With a quick closing.
Keep close.
Always keep close because and also for the fuel oil they have a small release lock here. You need to check first that any pressure inside the tank before you open the cover and open the valve. Okay. I always see this one is choked, blocked by the fuel oil. Actually, it can be fuel oil. Sometimes this one very small hole, maybe 1 mm only. So make sure that take out and clean. Make sure it's not blocked, not choked. Okay. Another this one you can see from US Coast Guard. I'm not going to go through all this. I highlight this to you. Maintenance of condition after survey. Remember, master responsibility. Solar Chapter 1, Regulation 11C. Just give you briefly. If you have any dependency on the ship, any equipment on the ship not working or damaged or whatever, the master responsibility to inform to the company, and company have to inform to FRAC immediately. Okay, like for example, your radar not working. The ship now approaching to port on the way. You have to inform to the company. Company have to inform to the FRAC. If Vietnam, you have to inform to VR. Or if other FRAC, you have to inform to class to inform to the FRAC to protect yourself. Okay, even though you arrange the technician to come to repair during the ship import, but you still need to report. This is the regulation. Okay? Yeah. As per SOLAS, this is the regulation. Then the FRAC will give instruction that, okay, you give proposal to the FRAC that, okay, we're going to repair in the port. Then the FRAC may say, okay, they acknowledge receipt of your notification. No any action further required. Or when the ship import, if you repair finish, just notify them. If not repair, then call class to come up, issue short-term certificate to you, something like that. All right?
Yes, so, is there any list available list for the equipment, the critical equipment which the value must be reported? Do you have a list?
They actually the list of equipment they don't have they have a critical equipment they have, but any equipment that you have damage on the ship you have to report. Even ballast pump, fire pump, generator engine or whatever, you need to report. It depends on the criticality of the equipment, and the FRAC will advise you. If the equipment not critical, they just acknowledge only. They're not going to give you any instruction. But if like fire pump damage, they will give you instruction immediately. What you have to do. Alright?
So is there any company complying with us? Is there any company?
Yes. Many companies they inform. Why the reason that you need to inform? Look at this. Resolution A119/30 procedure for process control, where the ground for detention are the result of the accidentally damage suffered to the ship. No detention order should be issued provided that if you comply with these four, process control cannot detain the ship. Yeah. Okay. The first one, due account has been given to the convention requirement regarding notification of to the FRAC. So even if thing damage on the ship, you notify the FRAC. Process control cannot detain the ship. That item. If your radar damage, you will notify the FRAC. Or they come up, they found radar damage, they cannot detain the ship because you will inform FRAC. Item 1. Okay, you will inform FRAC. Or item 2, before you enter the port, you notify to the process authority that your ship have problem with this equipment. Inform them early. They cannot detain your ship. All right? Huh?
If inform early, not
cannot detain. Cannot detain. Okay. Or item 3, you do something to notify the process authority. They cannot detain the ship. All right. Okay, so I think the 3 items that's the most important part. The first one, notify FRAC. The second one, notify port authority. The third one, that you take action to rectify the item to certify the process control authority. And then the completion of action, we have to do something. Okay, this is the requirement from here. They cannot detain the ship. All right. Okay, this is ABS process control guidance. Let me show you this one. This is you see the result process control. You see process control officer after emergency on the ship. You see ship engineer, captain, the crew. You see the superintendent.
Henry.
Very angry. Captain, like this.
Crying.
Duty posted officer.
Happy.
Work at postal control officer.
So the best posted control officer, happy.
Only the best become a PCO. No crew, no superintendent.
Yes. Okay. Okay. I have one question. That the ship, the cable on the ship. I see many ship the cable.
Yes.
They paint on the cable. Can you paint the cable on the ship?
No.
Why?
Because the boy to fight. In case have a fight on the cable, the pen can make the fire become more.
Because the cable they have requirement of 5 liter tanks.
Yeah.
What the meaning of 5 liter tank? That if you burn the cable, you put the fire here, the cable will burn only here. It's not going to burn here, burn here. If you burn only the base and cut with the fire. But if you paint, the paint is not 5 liter tank. When you burn, the paint will burn. It will go everywhere in the ship.
Yeah.
So remember, not paint the cable. It's very dangerous. Yes, the cable. You are not allowed to paint. I show you the This is process control guidance from the base. This one free for the company. I will send to the for this one. Okay.
Yes.
You have this. Okay, so from here they have a lot of information that we can go through. What we have to prepare for process control. Look at documentation that you need to check.
Yeah.
From here, they give you the location. Look at the brick. What you need to check in the brick, or here.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very nice.
So on the brick, or you want to see on the F is what? Workspace. You can click here. What you have to make sure that you check before the ship arrives.
Yeah.
Okay. You can print this or you use this as a soft copy. Make sure that you use training for the crew. What you need to check, I will send over here. Then you can give this to the ship. Okay, for helping you to in case of the process control or something like that.
Can you send us the previous slide as well?
Ah yes, I give you. I have another the one that I showed to you. I cannot give that one, but I have another one similar. Okay, similar information inside.
Không cho hết rồi. Em có xin á, cho hết á. Cho hết. And include the video, right?
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
Xin cho hết mà.
Cho hết rồi.
In case we use this one to train our crew.
Look at this.
Xui chúng ta chịu. Dây nữa còn không có kỹ.
Tại sao?
Cái này
có xài ở dưới nó để ta sát.
So how often that you check your embarkation letter for the lifeboat? How often? Embarkation letter, how often you check?
Bao lâu?
How you check?
Visually.
How you check?
Visual check only.
Visual and
diameter of the rope.
How you check?
bend it up. And one hand check. You hand bending, hand
I have the picture to show you. This is our old pocket material.
Dốt tới đó, càng học càng ngu.
Càng học càng ngu như mới.
Càng biết càng sợ.
Okay, look at this. How the hydrolysis is working. How the hydrolysis is working. When the ship sinks, right? When the ship sinks, the light up, go down, open. And then after it's open, then the big link will be broken. The light up will come up to the surface. Okay? This is the way how to connect the hydrolytic units. All wrong. All wrong. This is the way how to connect. Okay, connect to the big link.
This correct?
Yes, this correct. Yeah, the big, this correct, so big. Yeah, correct. This one too big, Captain.
That's funny.
Okay, can it accept?
No, it cannot replace.
Cannot force feed. Cannot force feed.
Yeah.
This? No. Same. This one never connect for a long time. No. This correct, right? So don't put inside here. It will stuck here. The second will stuck here. So not good. If you need to connect, it should be like this with the guide. With the guide for the boat come in and guide go out. Okay. So the top one after fold out and then go out from here and then go out from the ship. This one is hinged. It can turn, and this one can go out follow. Okay. Look at this. Look at this. How you shape? Broken. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. That's why I asked Captain how you check.
The first I think this is due for how long? This is time. How long? Yes.
Yes.
And I can check by visual.
How long? Okay, you said how long you use.
Yeah.
What is your time frame? That's how long you can use. 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years.
Yes.
How long? This kind of rope.
1 năm, 2 năm, 5 năm. Bây giờ có hạn mà. Đấy, hạn dùng bao lâu?
You know when I test this one, how I do? I just throw. After putting throw to the sea, kick it and let it go. Let it drop with the weight. Let it drop full weight with this one. Actually, tanker you are really high. You drop it, the weight of this ladder will pull this one down. We pull this one down. If broken, it's broken. If broken, it's really important. It's good for you. You can change a new one. Not when you emergency, you want to climb down, the whole thing drop to you. Below is the boat. Below is the lifeboat. Top of you is the ladder. You drop to the lifeboat, the ladder drop on your body. Double die, you know. Double die. Drop really die.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
You survive. Yeah. Okay, so very important. And then if this rope broken, you cannot repair by yourself. The rope from top to the end is one piece. Cannot connect, cannot connect. Yes. This part broken, I just connect this part, no. The rope is one piece only. The rope is one piece there, but diameter, the rope, what is the size? Okay, it's one piece only from end to another end is one piece. Cannot connect, cannot cut and connect it. Okay.
Cái dây vanilla nó còn dài mấy trăm mét.
Must be vanilla rope.
Cắt.
Vanilla rope.
200 mét.
This is another item. Okay,
dài luôn.
What it is?
I know.
What it is? You pump for the boat, for the lifeboat. For the lifeboat, how you test this? When you test this, take out the suction, put in the water, and then pump. Test. Not only the air. Okay, good. No. Because this diaphragm sometimes in the lifeboat is very hot, the rubber will damage. When without load, you test is okay. When with suction with the water, the load, the diaphragm broken. Alright? Look at this. Sometimes it's cracked here, cracked on the casing. Okay?
Yeah.
This, I want to ask you about final tender. How long we must be review?
No requirement.
No requirement?
No. No requirement of load test, no requirement of the when you
because if in time the road will be melt.
Correct. It not melt, the road is only low.
Yeah.
It can deteriorate because of the sun. The lobe, this one damaged because of touching with the sun, with the water. Wet, dry many times, so it's damaged. So how you take care of it, that you have to lift it up higher on the floor. The one that already damaged is the connection to the floor. Because it's wet, dry, and sometimes paint it. Even worse, you see the picture. They paint it, you know. You see, they paint. This is 3 years old, 4 years old only. They paint it. Then it damaged, and then it's really low to the deck. Raining, this one wet. It's already damaged in this part. If happen like this, it means that very old already. Manila rope is not melt, and then Manila rope is like the cord is very old, you just pull it, it's broken. Yeah? So you test it regularly, inspect, throw it to the water and keep it back. Sometimes the crew don't want to do it, very heavy. If you have a big load, it's very heavy, very difficult to keep. So they don't keep it. Right? This is another same picture. Yeah. Why the reason that you have to have the heavy on the big wing? Because when you release the live buoy will pull this one down. If you use 2.5 kilo, you may not be able to pull this one down to the water.
Yeah.
All right. This is the old positive control. This one, same picture. What wrong with this one?
Cannot spring. No spring.
No spring.
Yes.
No spring. Spring missing, right? I have another one with airway. This one is not acceptable. The starting pipe, the level gauge with the tie back, not acceptable also. Oh, this item. One of the items that the C valve, side shell valve, you cannot use cast iron. Cast iron not allowed for the C valve. Okay? Because cast iron no flexibility. You can crack really easy if you have tension. It can crack. Okay? Self priming pump for the fire pump. This always have problem. This not working. Alright? Internal zone connection. There dimension here. 50 mm in length. Right?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
For both 16 mm diameter and then 50 mm. Right?
Mấy đồng chí Marine Superintendent học thuộc.
Đúng rồi.
Same thing. This is fire damper in accommodation.
Yeah.
In accommodation. Make sure that you check they have fusible plug. Yeah. If fire, this one will melt and then the damper will close by itself.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, cái đầu sư.
This item, sometimes you need to take out and paint from inside. Okay, how it's working? This is air vent here. Look at this. When you pump the water inside, the air will come out. air will come out from the tank through this one and go out.
Yeah.
So when the large sea, the water will come here, come inside here, the floating this will close. Water will go inside the tank. If floating this damaged, the water go inside the floating this cannot move, though it's not working, so you have no air vent. Okay, then the water will fill inside the tank, ship lose stability without knowing. Alright?
Yeah.
Very dangerous. Fire damper. I show you the condition. See after shipping, come like that. Fire damper. Severe treatment plan. I say inside corrosion. Outside look very good. After shipping, become like this. Or the casing. Severe treatment plan. Cable painting.
Đúng rồi, bên đất
The cable painting. All painting. Not acceptable. Okay? Not acceptable. This is the requirement.
Không được sơn mấy ông dây điện nha mấy ông chết. Hay chết nhiều lắm này.
Engine room like this not acceptable.
Yeah.
Not acceptable engine room so many oil. Leaking. Double on the pipe not acceptable.
Sticker.
They put the doubler not acceptable. Okay?
Not doubler.
Doubler. This is when you repair the part like handrail, you have to follow the load line.
Yeah.
Okay, the distance between here to here, here to here. The important thing that the lower part, 220 mm from deck to here.
Yeah.
That's the requirement. 220. Yes. Why 220? Because they don't want the body of the people go through and then drop in the water.
Yeah.
Standard people size, you cannot go through 220. Unless you are very thin. Maybe you can go through it.
Okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay. 250.
Let's okay. No okay.
You want to say to
Phải là quên thì linh.
Cậu không.
Load line mark, you see. So bad. You know why it happened like this? This picture taking from the ship trading in Alaska. Alaska so many ice.
Yeah.
So when the ship sailing hit with the ice, so the paint go off.
Right.
We took before the ship painting.
ABS.
This one new ship.
Sample.
Yeah. Okay, that's it.
Very useful.
I sent the project control checklist. I sent the presentation to you.
I have question.
Yes.
I want to ask you
What question?
If PSC officer we got wrong, who I can explain, I can correct or explain.
Okay, if the PSC issue wrong, you can see. The first thing that you need to talk to him on the ship before he leaves the ship. But if not, then you inform the company. The company have to inform class. Then the class will deal with the
Company inform the class.
Yes. That is what I think. Okay.
If not, you can call Donald Trump.
Any more questions?
So, do you have the classification of the nature of the efficiency? Which one is normal risk, what is low risk, what is high risk?
Normally we don't classify like that. We have in the solar we have non-sale item. Non-sale item is that item that if damaged you are not allowed to sell. Lifeboat, one of them. Fire pump, another one. All this equipment that if damaged on the ship, you are not supposed to leave port. You are supposed not to leave from the port. You have to repair. Do something before you can leave. We classify like that.
So feel free to contact me if you have anything. I give you my name card.
I got already.
Got already?
Long time ago.
Oh, so who else want my name card?
Anything more?
Anyone?
Chat the noting. Big mafia.
So from today, and then
where are you supposed to
with that, feel free to contact me. I will have one of my ship surveyor, assistant ship surveyor from Singapore, coming to Vietnam maybe in November.
Yes.
He will come here to provide training for PR17. How important is PR17? And then some other process control issue that we have. This material is we use for 1 or 2 years already.
Yeah.
They have another material, the new one.
Yes. 2019.
2019, they will have another material, so maybe some information new for you.
Yes,
I may contact you with here, then maybe we will visit you, then we can provide you another training.
Maybe transfer.
Okay. Also, there are many new regulations come to force
yes.
in next year. So
yes.
Make here the guideline.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Also, one thing in ABS website, in my name card, we have my ABS website, www.eagle.org. You can go and register yourself.
Yes.
Just put in your email address and then fill in some information and then submit to ABS. Then you will receive notification email from ABS.
Yes.
Then from there, you will receive all update of the new requirement. Okay, I suggest you, if you are interested to receive the update from ABS regularly, you go register yourself. The website is www.eagle.org. www.eagle.org. So, and then you can choose what you want. They have so many categories, even event magazine or whatever, it's all free inside the website.
So, the other thing is training or education. Either the video or something, so that you will give to approve for training.
For the video, normally we don't not release video. The training material normally we do by ourselves.
Yeah.
We make by ourselves because, you know, as American company, we are really concerned of the license. License. Even the picture inside the video, inside the material training, we not release. We are very careful on the license. We don't want somebody come back why you use my ship for training without informed.
Yeah.
We are concerned on that one. So sometimes, like if your ship docking, if I have time, I will walk to the ship, I will walk and I will take picture and we prepare material, training material, based on your own vessel. And then used to train only your company,
yes.
not other company.
We other company is okay, but no sit them, no company.
Yeah, no sit them. Yeah. We will not do that.
Just the feature of the structure is no problem for us.
Yes. That we will do that.
Okay, thank you.
We learning every day. I also learn from your side, and you also learn from us, and exchange information. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
That's enough. Now we have dinner out. Now we drink until now we enjoy the lunch until the dinner.
Anh đi theo ý nghĩa của mình 4 giờ nhưng mà 5 giờ nhé, không nhầm 4 giờ thì 4 giờ qua 5 giờ nhầm thì biết không?
Ba cũng dạ, em 5 giờ nó về tới.
Yeah, we are our office in Vũng Tàu now. So if you go to Vũng Tàu, feel free to come to my office.
Yeah.
Cái mail trước mà liên lạc Vinh được về địa phận. Còn nó của Liêu chắc là còn. Đọc của bằng nào? Ý của nó là bây giờ chỉ mình gửi lại để nó lấy cái lý do để nó một là nó đi làm cái kia xem được không thì bắt đầu là nó tính cái phương án của mình. Cái ở đây nhiều khi nó trao đổi với nó là nó nó đi sẽ lên xe buýt nó bảo mình sẽ gửi cho em một cái để em lên tức là có thể em lên cơ sở để em biết nó biết là em xem cái mail
theo hồi xưa thì lấy cái nội dung nó coi như gửi nhau tới cuốn lại cho nó phải để nó lấy do nó mới đi nó tìm hoặc là nó mới giảm.
ABS we do the way training different. We don't like the big seminar. Big seminar not good. It's not effective. It's not effective. Like this better. We come and talk to you face to face. Your company, if you are tanker, then we talk more on tanker. Bulker, we talk more on bulker, something like that.
Because we are, once we concern, we get the information. I think this is a better way.
Yes, correct. If we have any more training, we update you and then I can go and provide training by myself. When I was in Singapore, also I trained surveyor a lot.
Yeah, this got very useful. I don't know for another, but for my safety, because I'm manager safety crew department.
You learn a lot of things. You get a lot of information.
Lots of information, very useful. Update every day.
Yeah, it's true. You are learning every day. No? Yeah. It's not one time learning and finish. You have to continue learning.
Yes. Keep up the thing.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hope you get something. Then
I get a lot of people.